Are you willing to sacrifice your life?
The fuck was that, Ken?
Joey Fats Radio, row 1C1.
I've been loving every second. I'm not rooting for injuries openly, but
I just pretended that was Brian Deegan.
I'm so fucking pumped. I'll be like, yeah, bitch, fuck
I will do that.
I'm gonna find him on LinkedIn and be like, "Did you punch a kid in the face? Tell me the truth."
All right, Sean brought his A game tonight. All right, okay, I like it. I like where this is going. And I don't want to put this as like a thing. Like he wasn't a bad guy, as far as
Who
we
said
know.
he was a bad guy?
I don't know, but I feel like we're painting him in this light that he was like this bad guy, and I don't want to do that. To this day, I hope you hear this. Fuck you. But rules are rules, okay? Stupid rule, but it was a rule. If you were a Crip and you were cooling in the cut, what do the Bloods do? Are they booling in the butt? Yep. Also, we are extremely juvenile, and yeah, whatever. Fuck you. All right.
I've used it. I admit it.
You fucking smashed me in the ass, you dumb fuck.
Well. If it isn't another Tuesday evening, Sean, how are we feeling tonight?
Not bad.
Not bad. Not terrible. Not good. Not bad, but just not terrible.
No, not terrible. I mean, I'm kind of glad we skipped the draft show because that was a rough fucking draft.
It was arguably the worst draft that I have ever had to live through, and we're going to get into all of that tonight because there was a lot about that draft, and nice. There was a lot of sorry, just making sure the audio is working. There's a lot to get into about the draft, and I'm not talking about the picks or any of that. I'm more. I want to talk more about the theatrics and the showmanship, if you will, of everything that happened. But we'll get into that. We'll get into Mike Vrabel. We'll get into everything right here on Row 1 Seat 1, Joey Fats Radio. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It is another absolutely gorgeous Tuesday evening here tonight on the one, the only, the New Bedford Guide. It is good to be back, Sean. Again, I'm glad we skipped last week's show, too, because...
Work.
Well,
I was on vacation, too.
You were on vacation for Tuesday. You weren't going to be here anyway. And you're right. I didn't really want to do... I wasn't really feeling the draft show. I didn't care all that much about the first round of the draft. I usually don't. Anyway, you know me. I'm not a big draft guy. I like the draft.
I love it.
But I hate what the draft has become.
Well, I didn't realize until someone stated it live on air, and it hit me of why this draft was so bad. And I'm not sure if it was Mike Mayock or if it was someone else, because Mike Mayock is not on a network anymore. He's like, ever since he lost the Raiders job, he's kind of just been like a background guy, kind of like just like living life. But he said, like, this is the first year of the NIL results.
Yes.
He says guys are returning to college more because they're saying, I'm going to get paid the same
if I just stay in school.
If I just stay in school, I can compete. I can definitely make the roster, and I can try to improve my status next year because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a no-lose situation for some of these guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Do I return to school and make the same amount of money that I would make in the NFL and potentially raise my stock? You know what I mean? Like,
it's for them. It was that made all the sense in the world to me. I was like, man, because that made so much sense of why this class was just like. It seemed like teams just did not give a shit either. There was a lot of reaches. There was a lot of you'll see a lot of like interior fighting in this draft. A lot of teams had in-house fighting. I noticed, and it was not the norm.
And of course, we'll get into the LA Rams. You know, right
That's
off the
big
rip.
One. That was that night.
That was the big infighting that you're alluding to.
And then obviously there was the draft night. Jerry Jones kind of like sticking it to Mike McCarthy one last time in the Steelers for no good reason other than just to do it to him.
Yep.
That was kind of rotten. That made news. And then there was a lot of like a lot of trades which we expected, which there always are, but they felt like more trades this year than ever before. And then again, there was multiple conversations about how great next year's draft is, how generational the quarterback draft is next year, how many great quarterback talents are coming out next year's draft. It just became like, okay, we get it.
And we kind of saw that too early on. Like, I mean, we saw it. You and I saw it coming basically from the combine.
Yeah.
When we were, because we pay especially close attention to that, because a lot of times the combine is going to, they're going to tell you, what is coming.
Correct.
Without you have to read between the lines, but you'll be able to figure out what's coming up. This draft was, again, we knew this draft was going to be soft, talent-wise. There wasn't many big playmaking, major, earth-shaking kind of like franchise-changing players, especially at the quarterback position. Fernando Mendoza goes number 1 overall, and you and I both agree we don't think that Mendoza is a number 1 overall talent.
Well, how'd you feel about the NFL calling his family, and telling them, you're going to refilm that whole reaction one more time?
That's just Bush League. I didn't.
So they had a live reaction where he got up, and it was the live reaction of being picked number 1 overall because he chose not to go to the draft. He chose to stay at home.
Yes.
And everyone already had Raiders hats on, which upset the NFL privately. And he got up, he hugged his mom, his dad, his agent, and then I guess his younger brother and a couple of family members went to go hug him and shake his hand, and he was at the camera, just smiling at the camera, and he looked very
awkward.
He looked awkward, and he looked almost serial killer-ish. And then the call came in, and then they resent it for the online only. So all the social medias of the Raiders, the NFL, Twitter, Instagram, they all got the second version.
It's just caffeine.
They all got the second version. The second version was nobody was wearing hats.
Yes.
So he didn't know he was going to get drafted by the Raiders.
Oh, suddenly he didn't know.
And then
as if everybody didn't know the Raiders were taking him 5 months ago.
And then he awkwardly got up and hugged every single member of his family, all 12 people in the room. It's Jesus, dude, come on.
So let's start there, because I don't really give a shit. Listen, we could sit here and dissect the picks and talk about this player going here and this player going there, and we could talk about the Broncos and the Patriots draft and all their picks. What pissed me off about this draft, and what's been pissing me off about the draft for years, is exactly what you just said, Sean. How fucking Hollywood it has become.
Yes, massively.
And
massively.
It is so over-the-top ridiculous.
Yep.
It's so annoying. Because I don't give a shit about these guys. So I'm watching the draft Thursday night. I was home, I was watching it, and I had it on, but I wasn't, I was doing other stuff, but I had it on to start. Every time I looked, I think at one point I looked over, I think 3 picks had come in the time it took one player to walk from the green room, if you will, down the hall, get to the camera, fix his collar, fix his jacket, flash his chain, throw up whatever gang signs he wanted to throw up, all that bullshit that they do now. Tap the logo of the team that just drafted him on the way out, you know what I mean, like he's coming out of the tunnel, and then get up on stage and they hug the shit out of the commish, and they want to make it seem like, yeah, the commish is my dog, bro. He's my boy. That's my dude. It's I die for this guy. Whatever.
Awkward.
It's so forced and so just bullshit. And I'm watching it happen. And at that point, this guy's walking out. I mean, 3 picks are in. Beyond this pick, we haven't even introduced this pick, and there's already 3 more that are in. I'm like, can we speed this the fuck along, please? I'm like, I don't give a shit about this fucking guy who's probably going to be out of a job in less than 2 years, coming up and talking about,
About 40% of the first-round picks don't pan out.
And you're right. And that's on a good year.
Yeah,
that's a good year.
Yeah, most of them end up playing 3-4 years. They play out their first contracts, then you rarely hear from them again if they're average.
Exactly.
So,
and they might bounce around the league a little bit, but they're not going to be this thing. Remember, and then they got to get up there, and then the players got to get there, and they got to thank their grandma, for putting them through. Thank God we didn't have a Takaris McKinley fucking episode where he comes out with the giant portrait of the grandma and just starts screaming into the camera. This is who I do it for.
Yeah, that
and
was
we're
do we even know what happened to McKinley? Is he even
He last I knew he was bouncing around the league a little bit. He was still in the league, I think, last year.
But he wasn't a Falcon anymore.
No. He is currently, I think, on the Jets.
Jesus Christ.
Right now, hold on, I'll tell you right now. And I'm only bringing him up. So he has gone from, he played from the Falcons from 17 to 19, 2020. So from 17 to 2020. Then he was with the Browns, the Rams in 22, and now he's in the Jets in 24. He did not play last year. So he's out of the league. I mean, not surprising for a 6'2", 250-pound defensive end who really didn't have any, crazy good skill set or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
He was just kind of like a decent guy that was good and had some, had a little bit of potential. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. But the bottom line is I don't need that guy sitting there taking up fucking 20 minutes of my watching time. The draft to me, and the other thing that kills me too, and I'll get into this in a second, but before I get into that, hold on, let me finish this thought, because I'm all over the place with this, because it infuriated me.
Well, I think this year they were really trying to fluff it up because so many people talk shit about it. So they were like, "Look at the backstory."
Yes.
Let's try to bleed into the stories of these men.
Yeah, let's make this make this as Hollywood as we can. Let's make sure that everybody falls in love with the character.
Yeah.
Not so much the
Who cares about how they played football-wise?
Right.
Did you know this man saved 3 kids from a burning fire 6 weeks ago?
And Teddy Bruschi is running out to the parking lot. There's a car on fire. Oh, he's saving the puppies.
Fuck that Buffalo fan who made that, because it was hilarious.
All I'll say is thank God for Coy Wire.
But it's been 20 years that shit still gets played. And Teddy Bruschi is on ESPN. He's like, "Yo, you're gonna stop playing that shit."
Shit's funny as fuck, dude. But the other part that killed me about it too, Sean. Sorry, I'm trying to get this little caffeine pouch in the right place so I don't.
No, you're good.
Sound like I don't want to sound like a cow chewing on a fucking piece of grass. Wow. Philly pulled away. 16-point win for the Philadelphia 76ers in Game 5. We will see a Game 6.
Game 6, Celtics lose against the Philadelphia 76ers at home. That was a disappointing loss.
This should have been a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And you know who's going to eat shit on this is Charles Barkley. Because Barkley was talking about how they had to watch 2 blowouts tonight, including this one.
Oh, yeah.
There was going to be 2 beatdowns that they were going to get.
Himself in the foot. And you know what?
Fails.
And you know what? Embiid always plays well against the Celtics only. It's just the 76ers in general are ass against the organization of the Celtics.
The Sixers are terrible.
But
They're bad at basketball, and they should be eradicated from the NBA.
But I feel bad just watching Embiid because you can see it in his face. Like, he has no love for basketball anymore. Here he is, speaking of the devil. He has no love for basketball anymore. He's just like, this is my job. I'm miserable coming to work.
He's like Joker. He's like, I just want to go home and feed my goats.
He probably has goats, to be honest with you, because he's fucking bored.
Right? He's just like, I needed a new challenge, so I bought a pygmy goat.
Small segue. Joker's 3-point shot that turned into a dunk for the game winner, amazing last night. And Joker was like almost upset.
Oh, I did. I watched that. Yeah, I did. I was watching that.
The team's going wild, and Joker's just like walking away as if he was like, that was my 3-pointer he took away.
Yeah. You son of a bitch.
But he missed.
He did. Well, yeah, I was not going in.
No.
The other part of the draft that fucking killed me, that really just bothered the shit out of me, was the fucking browbeating, dude.
Oh.
Like, enough. Like, I get it, man.
It used to... Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt.
Dude, I'm so sick and fucking tired of everybody in their fucking cause having to sit there and just bash me over the goddamn skull with whatever thing that it is that they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it, dude. Like, I don't even like having to go to Shaw's on a Saturday or Sunday and be asked by, like, a Taunton Little League girls team or a softball team or whatever, a cheer team, or whoever's out there fucking asking for money. Like, no. Like, fuck you. Like, I work fucking 40-plus hours a week. I'm broke as fuck. Why am I going to give you fucking money? Go away.
Uniforms are $3,000. Why are uniforms that expensive?
Well, that's a whole little youth sports is gone. We could do a whole segment on youth sports because that shit has gotten to the point. Because you know what that is? To be quite honest, that has nothing to do with anything except parents feeding their own egos. That is 110% on the fucking parents. And that's why I don't donate. It's not because I don't support the kids. It's because I don't care that, like, there's no reason for these kids to have matching uniforms, travel bags, all this bullshit, so they can go to Orlando, play some insignificant tournament, get dusted, and come home.
See, that's what sucks because, like,
Just throw your shit in your backpack like a normal fucking kid.
Oh yeah,
and go with your parents.
yeah.
Like,
My son's in sports right now, and I'm doing shit with him. But it's like, I said to my wife, like, in a few years, like, if he loves whatever sport he's like super into, and they're like, oh, you should join the travel team. First of all, no, I don't have the money for the travel team. Two, we both have full-time jobs.
yeah, how are we gonna travel?
How the fuck am I gonna get like 4 days a week off to travel, like to all different states and stuff like
Listen,
that? To have to
I
play
wanted
sports?
nothing more than to drive go-karts when I was a kid, right? And I had a go-kart when I was a kid. I'd drive around the backyard, and I was good at it. It was good enough to the point where my dad actually looked into buying me a Sprinter cart and getting me into karting because he knew I loved it and he thought I could be good at it.
Yep.
The problem with that was that you had to drive out to Connecticut, New York,
Yeah,
New
come on,
Jersey,
that's way too far.
Maryland, like all these places. And my dad's schedule didn't line up for it. My dad worked, he did 24 on, 48 off.
Yep.
And it was a rotating schedule. He couldn't do it. And so I never was able to get into karting. Now, I'm not blaming my dad by any means, or I'm not even mad about it because that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous ask. But why is it that I have to fucking sit there and go to Stop and Shop or Shaw's or wherever it is, and I got like the Rehoboth girls softball team, like youth softball team, asking for money to go to fucking Orlando? Like, no, like you're not even from my town. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you know who I donate to? My friends' kids. When my friends are the people I know directly,
Yeah.
their
because
kids are doing something and they're like, hey, we're doing a fundraiser, whether it's Super Bowl squares,
but
something
it's
like
going
this.
directly to them, and you know them
Exactly.
and, like you know what's going on in their life too. It's not like to be fair, like if not to pick on Rehoboth or Taunton or any of these other surrounding towns and cities,
But I don't give a fuck about
But
them.
it's probably like they divide up into like 6 teams. They've hit up 6 different stores the same day.
Yeah.
They're making a killing that day, and it's just like, and all of it is going into like stupid shit like for flights or bus
Yeah,
travel.
matching
It's like
matching
sucks,
matching
man.
Letterman jackets
It
with their names
sucks.
inscribed.
And
I'm like,
it's become obscene of how expensive kids'
And-
sports are.
and you know what?
And not to cut you off, every time you get into a fucking city or town, and not to go into like a Dartmouth or New Bedford or Fall River or wherever you're from, rant about they always cut the school's budget for like sports. They're like,
Always.
cut it.
you got to pay to play.
Have the-
You have to pay to play sports in Dartmouth now.
Pretty much everything.
Like
is to play.
dude, I wish they had charged money to play sports in high school when I was there because
Less shitty
then
people would play.
Because well, not only that, but then I never would have been. I would have never been pressured into playing. I
Oh,
could
yeah.
I could have just been like, nah, not paying. Bye. See you later.
But
Because I
they-
didn't want to play in high school. I didn't like high school sports. I
I
played Dartmouth
believe-
Youth League, and that was it.
I believe they have a hard time like getting full teams now though, because if you're
Well, yeah,
forcing all
because
these
if you're a
kids to
fucking
pay-
kid in Dartmouth whose parents are barely able to afford to live in Dartmouth to begin with because the place is expensive as shit, and now you're gonna cough up $1,500 to pay, to play football for a season or whatever the fuck it is,
You gotta pay for his helmet, his
because you
pads.
need matching jackets and matching gear bags for travel games and for away games and blah blah blah. It's like, no, motherfucker, get on the fucking yellow bus. You throw your shit in the back. And you got a tail truck. One of the assistant coaches is driving a fucking, pickup truck with a bunch of shit in the back. Like, no, we do this the hard way.
Hey, funny story. My son broke his bat on Sunday in the backyard. Like his bat, he is fucking opening day's coming up on Sunday for him, and I'm having him just take swings. I'm like, whatever, you fucking break the fence or a window, it's on me. Like I don't give a shit. Like we didn't get to practice this week because it was canceled.
Do you want a net? I have a net in my shed I don't even use.
Nah, because like
It's literally sitting in there doing nothing.
maybe like it depends. Like,
It's a golfing net, but it'll certainly handle a baseball.
maybe. All
Okay.
right, maybe.
Well, I'm just saying, so you don't
Um,
break a fucking window.
Yeah, but I've thought about.
Well,
buying
I
one
mean,
anyway.
vinyl fences. I mean, trust me, I've broken a couple of panels. They're
Yeah.
$100 a panel to
It's a pain in
repair.
the ass, I
yeah.
know. So we're just playing with it. All of a sudden,
Had an RC truck get away from me one time.
he's hitting balls and he's
Brakes.
and I'm pitching
Wasn't
them to him.
brakes. It was faster.
Oh yeah. So I'm pitching balls to him, and all of a sudden, like he's hitting them pretty decent. I'm like, all right. I'm like, just don't do full swings. Just do like partial swings, just to make contact. And he's doing well. And all of a sudden, after like 20, 30 balls he hits in a row, he's like, hey, there's a rattle I hear all of a sudden. He just shakes it. I just hear,
Got that.
and I'm like,
Yep.
I come over to the bat, nice divot in like the barrel, and I'm like, bat's gone. I'm like,
Yeah.
bat's dead. And he goes, like looking at me like the big sad eyes, and I'm like,
the soccer coach.
yeah. Oh,
Like when Lana popped
Lana
his
popped
ball.
his ball.
Yeah.
Are you upset with the ball?
Lana's my German Shepherd
Yeah.
that popped Sean's son's ball one time when they came over.
That was like 6 years ago.
He was
5
like,
years
yeah,
ago.
he was like 2, 3.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
So-
and Lana like grabbed the ball because she thought she was playing it, but it was like one of those like
It was a stupid
like a latex.
It was a baby shark, I think, ball. To be
yeah, it was
honest
like
with you.
it was like one of those latex balls. And my German Shepherd grabbed it, thinking it was one of her like Kong chew toys,
Yeah,
and
she
it
was being
immediately
playful.
popped. And she was going to play with Cole with it, and then Cole just sit there and just put his hands on his hips like this, like
Tears in his eyes. Like,
we're just like, fuck, like it was the funniest shit. You and I laughed our asses off at that. That was
We-
that 4th of July?
yeah, it was around that time. It was summer. So
Was that the year I pulled my gun on that guy?
Possibly.
I think
It was that
no,
summer.
no. Cole was way younger at that point. Cole was still like a wee baby at that point.
That was
He was an infant.
That
It was
was
his
tw-
first July.
that was 2019 then.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Wow, that was 7 years
2020.
ago.
Yeah, 2020, right?
2020 was COVID. 2020 everybody was masked up at that point.
That's right. It had to have been 19.
It was 19.
Yeah.
God damn.
Right.
I bring him to Dick's same Sunday. I bring him to Dick's. I'm like, fuck it. We'll just go get a bat. Not even going to talk about the high end bats, which are $350 a piece, which is ridiculous.
It's insane.
Bring him to the batting cage inside Dick's. Have him swing a bunch of them. Find a bat. Still a good amount of money. Still buy him the bat anyway. He walks by. He's like, what are these? He like taps him with a bat. He goes, I'm like, those are cups. And he goes, for what? I'm like, to protect your junk.
The birds and the bees.
So I was like, it's to protect. I flat out told him, I was like, it's to protect your balls from getting hit. And he goes, why would someone go for your balls? And I was like, kid, a lot of reasons in different sports. Like,
Listen, kid, I'm going to tell you this. It's one of these things in life that just happen. Anything that is flying through the air at high velocity,
yeah,
your balls may as well have a magnet on them.
Yeah.
For whatever that thing is. You don't know why. It could be someone's hand, a foot, a ball, a projectile. It doesn't matter. I mean, I get shot in the dick playing paintball. I think at least once a tournament now, I feel like I get shot in the dick.
but
And I'm like, oh!
he asked, he goes, is it comfortable?
I
And
look
was
down, I'm like, did it break? And I'm like looking like I'm fingering myself. I'm like, it didn't break. Look,
Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm good, ref.
He's like, is it comfortable? I was like, not at all. And
No.
he goes, why would we wear it then? I was like, trust me, you'd need it.
And even when you do have a cup on, you still
It doesn't-
flinch.
Yes, because
You're still gonna flinch. So
it flicks everything at the
Yeah.
same time. It's like
well,
it just
if it's just anything that
spreads it out.
anything that goes towards that area as a man, you're immediately in a defensive posture.
yeah, it's
Because
fucking
you
natural.
see it coming at the very last second, and you're just like, oh god. And if you don't see it coming, it's the worst thing in the world. Because when whatever that object is makes contact with you,
Yeah.
it's game over. Like you will be face down in the grass, just sucking dirt. Because you are going to be inhaling you are going to be trying to put air into your lungs so much your lungs won't be able to hold the amount of air that you feel like you need to fill them because they're going to be collapsed to about this thin and they won't inflate and you're going to be like
Or you playing GoldenEye, run over the guy, shoot him in the crotch, to see the blood stain over and over
Yeah.
again. Yeah, sorry, that was a huge side of it, but going kids sports, everything like
anyway,
that. Yeah,
the whole
but
back to the draft.
the draft about guilt pleasing you. It used to only be second, third, fourth, not
Yeah.
first round.
The first round
now,
was exclusively it was the commissioner announce the name, they do the bro hug,
That's
they throw
it.
up the jersey, they take the picture and they get the fuck off the stage. Now we got this long walk down the hallway and we got to do the picture. They got like a photo booth on the way out. And everybody's going to show them, check out this chain and look at me and look at my suit and look how fly I am and look how dope I look or whatever. And they're just like, yo, on God, fam. Look at me. I'm fucking bussing.
hate it.
And
Hate it.
I hate it. And then they come out, and then the cat. But then the people introducing the picks has got to stop. I do not want to. I don't fucking care if Joey Porter and Joey Porter Jr. are going to come up and call the Pittsburgh Steelers next pick.
No.
I don't want to see, some random fucking dude who won a contest or the. What was there was one, I forget, I don't know if it was the Bills or the Titans or whatever, but the organization that had, obviously had paid enough money to get their people up there and won the bid to introduce the pick. It was so stupid. And I'm like, there's an organization for that? I'm like, that sounds fucking useless.
It is.
And it was. And then you get like, the kid that comes out, and this is when I felt bad, and this is what
Dying
pissed me
kids.
off. It's
a Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, it pissed me off because I actually felt bad about it.
Me too.
Not about watching it. The secondhand cringe was already bad
He was
enough.
a Lions fan, too.
No. I'm talking about the Seahawks fan.
Oh, at the very end.
The very end, the kid that had survived like 2 brain tumors, and he comes out and he's screaming into the microphone, and I'm like,
I saw that one later.
I'm like, dude, and he's like doing this whole like, pep rally type fucking speech, and I'm here to represent the 12s, and I'm like, I don't fucking care. Like, just tell me who they're picking. Like, why is this kid on the stage? Like I said, the secondhand embarrassment I got from that. Maybe that's on me because I'm somewhat based. Some would say I'm entirely too based.
If
but
he was
that's
the only one to do something, it'd be like, oh, it's different. That was kind of cool. The kid.
Yeah, right.
But every
every fucking
person.
team, dude. And they're like, and here for the Tennessee Titans pick is the Stop Smoking USA group, where they fight against nicotine addiction. I'm like, I don't fucking care.
No, I'm sorry.
I don't give a shit.
They didn't bring out some like breast cancer awareness and be like Titans and capitalize TIT.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Just like Jesus
That
Christ.
would actually be funny.
But they shoehorn everything, and like the Lions pick, it was just like this young 13-year-old Lions fan who's only known misery in his whole life as a Lions fan. I'm like, for fuck's sake, people! Like the kid's dying of cancer. He's still going through it.
And then you're gonna rub it in, and then you're gonna
wish.
rub it in and remind him he's a Lions fan on top of it.
Right? They made it like
The poor kid.
They're
He's
like-
already got it bad enough. He's a Lions fan. Why are you gonna fucking bring him out and drag him out on stage and make him fucking present for this team that's never gonna win shit?
And then I don't like I'm sorry, like the Make-A-Wish kids, I almost feel I hope I never have to deal with a Make-A-Wish kid or have any of those situations happen to me or anyone I know personally, because I guarantee you if I or anyone I know was a Make-A-Wish kid, the last thing they want fucking publicly broadcast is this is their final Make-A-Wish. What the shut up, dude.
Like what? Yeah, like this is the last time he'll be making a wish because
Right.
by this time next year he won't be with us. And the kid's like, "But Mom, Dad, you said the drugs were working," and they're like, "It's okay, little Jimmy." Like, and it's just it's abhorrent. It's disgusting. Like, and it's this behavior is just grotesque. It really is. And I'm sorry, but I don't have a problem donating to certain organizations and things
100%.
that I live in sport. Like, I mean, I play, one of my coworkers' golf tournaments. I'm drinking out of the cup. I'll donate to that all day because I know the guy, I know where the money's going, and I support the cause. I'll donate to my friends' kids. I'll donate to all this stuff.
I've donated to so much shit already this year.
But-
I shouldn't say shit. It's things that I support. But I've donated to so many different places. I'm well over $500-600 just for this year. And like when you think back of it, you're like, wow, I've given out like so much money. But like it's not the point. The point is like you do it for like the good of the culture. You do it not because I'm not giving to like Susan G. Komen. I'm not giving to like these major organizations that steal your money. I'm giving to like local people.
Right, I'm not giving
and
a
local
Red Cross
organizations.
or fucking like, and not to say like Dana Farber or any of that doesn't do it.
No,
But
no,
I'm not
saying that.
I'm not donating to those major fundraiser corporate that have basically made a living off grifting people.
There is a website, by the way, that if you want to donate to a major corporation like
They
that,
tell you what the
they
percentage
tell you
is
the
that
percentage
actually
of
goes to
every
people.
dollar you donate, how much goes to the actual cause, and how much goes to leadership administrative costs. Something like Susan G. Komen is like 80% to administrative costs and 20 cents to actual costs.
I think Red Cross was even higher than that. I think Red
That's
Cross was like
bad.
90-10 or something like that. Like it's bullshit. But anyway, but you're right, but that isn't an inherent problem. But the NFL is one of the biggest. Let's call it what it is. It is the biggest nonprofit in the world.
Again, that's bullshit.
I mean,
too.
outside of maybe like, can you call the Christian church? Like, I mean, I guess like Christianity or like religions would be like.
that's a touchy subject
But
because
but you can't
they skirt a lot of laws. Yes.
there's a mega church in Texas that's making $1 trillion a year in donations.
Which one? The ones that have jets and private
Yeah,
jets?
they got private jets to go recruit for Christianity, and you're like, I don't think Jesus needed a 747 to go recruit, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure the message should just recruit
And
it. Like,
Jesus said, buy this 7-story mega yacht.
yeah. And on the seventh day, the Lord said you got to rise up and buy a 747 and a 700-foot yacht because that son of a bitch Jeff Bezos bought a 650-foot yacht, and you got to make sure he doesn't have the biggest one in the world because that man is the literal devil.
The devil.
Praise be to Jesus.
Wasn't that the way she said it in like Waterboy? The devil, not even devil. She said it with a B.
The devil.
Yeah.
The devil. One of my favorite mispronunciations I've ever heard in a TV show was I was watching that show Rooster with Steve Carell.
Yeah.
And one of the characters' names, she's like an older single mom. Like she's kind of like, I don't want to say frumpy, but she's like a little thicker. Like she's not very, like she's cute but not well put together.
Yeah.
And her name is Crystal. But the guy from what was his name? He's one of the Bobs. He's the skinny Bob, the guy that played in Scrubs.
Yeah, the older,
the guy with the
doctor.
glasses.
Yes.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's wicked fun. The guy is, well, what is it exactly that you do here?
Yeah.
And he's the skinny Bob. He was known for Scrubs. He was like the doctor in Scrubs. He's super fucking funny.
He's always the hard-ass doctor in Scrubs. In Office Space, he was one of the guys that came in, the auditors that got rid of people.
Yeah. One of the, right. Hold on. Office Space.
He always usually plays like a villain in most serious movies.
No, he's
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, he does play a villain.
John C. McGinley.
Yes, he does. He plays a villain a lot.
Does he?
Yeah, he plays in a lot of comedies, but he plays like a bad guy in a lot of movies. Too.
I understand. I think I've only seen him in funny shit. Office Space, The Animal. Oh, he was in Platoon.
Wasn't he evil in Platoon? Like, wasn't he like one of the guys that like, betrayed like the unit?
Was he the guy that was like, here, piggy, 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 and then shot the pig? No, I don't think he was. The Belko Experiment, Nothing to Lose.
Belko Experiment, he was bad. He was the one that was killing all the people in the office.
I'm trying on Deadly Ground. Okay, that was one I've seen. Man, I know he's been in about Wild Hogs. Okay, comedy.
Wild Hogs, he was the bad guy.
Who the hell was he in The Rock?
The Rock, he was one of the fucking guys that took over the island. He was one of the fucking henchmen under the.
Oh yeah, he was Captain Hendricks. No shit. Okay, now I gotta go back.
He's always a bad guy.
I have to go back and watch The Rock again for the 150,000th time because I did not catch that he was in that.
He's either a sarcastic.
That's right. He was in that one. Doesn't he die early in The Rock? Is he one of the? No,
he dies.
No, he dies late. Yeah, you're right. Now I remember.
He's sarcastic, witty comedy.
Son of a bitch.
Or
Why
bad.
I knew, like, he's one of those guys. You've seen in a ton of things. Anyway, his character in this show, Rooster.
Yeah.
He calls Crystal, like Gristle.
No T.
Like Gristle, but with a C. And she just never corrects him because of his character. Like she's like, I just never corrected him, and now he calls me Crystal. And it's just, I don't know. It's one of the funniest.
It's a cool nickname.
It's one of the funniest mispronunciations because then you look at her and you're like, yeah, because she looks. I think the point was because she kind of looks like a piece of gristle. Like she's not the fillet, she's not the lean meat. She's just a piece of gristle.
Yeah.
But if you chew on her long enough, it's pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, that's what I took from it. But it was funny as shit. I love mispronunciation shit like that. Anyhow, but back to the draft. But the browbeating with the draft dude, it's got to end, man. So I'm sorry. Like, I remember when the draft was the best when the draft started at noon on Sunday and ended sometime around midnight.
The draft was the best when round 1, round 2 was fucking one day.
No, I like when it was all 7 rounds were on Sunday.
Oh, well, that's impossible now.
What do you mean it's impossible?
Well, now because of the pageantry.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Get rid of the pageantry, go back to the fucking basics, and make the draft an efficient, fun process that was easy to digest because people, like, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't want to hear Mel Kiper sit there and wax poetic for 20 minutes about a pick that he had no idea was going to be made.
Oh, Mel Kiper has been so off.
He's been terrible, dude.
Awful.
The only guy, I mean, what's his name? You just we were just talking about.
Mayock.
Mayock was one of the best. He's gone.
Oh, Mayock retired.
Yeah, he's gone. He was great.
Who is statistically there is the best pre-draft guy. Hold on. Is it Pete Schrager?
Schrager.
Pete Schrager is statistically. However you say his last name, he's statistically the best mock draft guy pre-draft now.
Yeah, he's not bad. My dad likes him a lot, actually.
Well, he's with it. Like, he knows his shit.
Yeah, my dad likes him a lot, which is funny as hell. But
I think he's a Jets fan too, which sucks for him.
Yeah, Peter Schrager. My dad always said, "Did you watch Peter Schrager yesterday morning on Good Morning Football?" I'm like, "No, Dad." I'm like, "I don't watch."
Peter Schrager was big into the half the Broncos team before last year. He was like, watch out for, he said Knicks. He said, watch out for The linebacker there that ended up blowing up, and he said, watch out for Benito, yeah. And he said, watch out for, what was the other edge guy you have?
Well, we got a couple. Strenad, Edge
Yeah.
was
I'm not thinking about it because he said he named like 3 Broncos last year before the beginning of the last season. He's like the Broncos.
You sure it wasn't Zach Allen
Maybe it was Zach Allen, but he was very big on like
or
those
JFM?
3.
John Franklin Myers was another one.
No, I think it was probably Zach Allen because I would remember that one. But it was Benito. I think Benito he had number 2 on his list of like names to watch for last season.
Well, listen, if you paid any attention to the Broncos in post the 70-point game in Miami, which, by the way, I'm still not done taking my victory lap on that, because do you remember when they didn't kick the field goal to set the record, and I called them fucking idiots, and I said because in 2 years when you're fucking when McDaniel is fired and Tua is gone,
Yep.
and you haven't won a fucking playoff game, no one's gonna remember a goddamn thing about this team.
Yep.
Why am I always right about these things?
Stupid, and Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel.
Josh McDaniels was us. Mike McDaniel now in San Diego. I think because I don't think you ever see him become a coach again.
I think he's going to get another crack at it because someone's going to take a chance on him, and I hope he'd make. But I
don't
hope
think
for
he
his
wants
sake.
to.
I hope for his sake. I hope he's going to wait for the right opportunity. Do not just go. Don't go to the Browns. Don't go to the Jets. Don't go to the Cardinals. Don't go to the Seahawks with Sam Darnold. That ain't gonna work either. Like that, they caught lightning in a bottle last year. That's as good as it's ever gonna get there. Like, just go to a team that has stability. Like, wait for the Steelers to fire Mike McCarthy, and then take that job, or wait for, I don't know. Trying to think of like another decent job that that they're probably gonna fire the coach. I feel like Baltimore could be a quick one.
No, it's too soon. They'll give him because the owner
I know
there,
they always do have stability there.
they'll give him like 4 or 5 years or some shit.
Right,
like
I
that.
think you're right. I think Lamar will be gone before the coach. I'm trying to think of other teams, but anyway, that'll be another project for another day.
No, coaching hot seats. Fucking Aaron Glenn in New York already. The Jets.
Yeah, but don't take the Jets job. If you're Mike McDaniel, don't take the Jets job. You already had a close up look at them when you were in Miami. Don't take that job. Don't take that job. The Jets, the Browns, the Bengals. I would say the Cardinals,
Cardinals are forever.
the Cowboys, the Jaguars.
I would still say Sirianni in Philadelphia. I mean, if the team all eradicates themselves, if AJ Brown gets traded, and all that shit comes out about the team all hating each other,
watch watch Philly fucking kill it this year, because they still
see.
have a great core, and they're gonna win 10, 11, 12 games. They're probably gonna be in the hunt for a Super Bowl again this year. You might be right though, because maybe they are expecting Super Bowl and they don't get it and they fire Sirianni. That would be, I think, a great spot for Mike McDaniel to swoop in and be like, hey, guess what? Because listen, as much as everybody hates on Jalen Hurts, I think Jalen Hurts is great, and I think there's a lot to work with there. You know what I mean? I don't think he's
up and down.
He's up and down, but I think if you can just get him to a point where, and I think Mike McDaniel has that mindset, that Shanahan mindset of, hey, we're going to do everything we can to help the quarterback out and not put it all on him every week.
Yeah.
That, I think, would be an ideal matchup, like a great marriage. And then imagine the contrast between what he was able to do with Jalen Hurts, Tua's old teammate, versus what he was able to do with Tua.
Yeah, fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Hurts is much better than Tua.
because then Mike McDaniel could basically clear his name and be like, look, I told you guys this guy was ass. You didn't want to get rid of him. You extended him.
No, he loved him.
Loved him in public.
So backed him up.
He loved him like Mike Vrabel loves Diana Rossini.
Dude, that fucking thing gets more. I'm almost sick of hearing about it. Like today,
I'm
it's
not.
like Diana Rossini makes a Spotify playlist for Mike Vrabel in 2001. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? I'm like, who gives a shit? I'm like, I hope she did. I'm like, that's such a weird thing to find. Matt LaFleur too. I think in Green Bay could be sneaky gone after this year.
That would not surprise me. And Green Bay would actually be a great spot
Because
for Mike
Green
McDaniel.
Bay keeps getting good players and does nothing with it.
That's true. And
Say what you want about Jordan Love, but like the defense was legit this year before Micah Parsons got hurt.
But the thing with Jordan Love is when Jordan Love is good, he's great. When Jordan Love is bad, he's fucking Rex Grossman, dude. Like on his worst day. Rex Grossman on his worst day. Rex Grossman on a good day was great. Him and Bernard Berrien just deep balls, chucking it. Bernard Berrien, Musin Muhammad, Thomas Jones. Like, what an offense.
Dude, wasn't
Rex
fucking
Grossman.
Wasn't fucking what's his name there too? Who's the other Chicago running back they had? They caught like
not Marion Barber.
He caught like a ton of the backfield too. Thomas Jones was a solid runner. But
Fontaine? No.
No. Fuck, it's gonna kill me.
Matt. His first name was Matt.
I don't know. Hold on. That's okay.
I want to say it's like Fontaine.
No, it's Forte.
Matt Forte. Thank you.
You were right with Matt.
Matt Forte. Because it sounded like Chocolate Rain. Matt Forte.
Yeah. I didn't know he was second all time for the Bears and everything.
Another touchdown goes into the hands of Matt Forte. The Bears go up another 7 points because of Matt Forte. That was his. Yeah, I remember that being a thing.
He literally is like second all time in every like Chicago Bear category offensively behind Walter Payton.
Matt Forte was nice, dude. He was nice. He was good.
08 to 15. He was there for quite a long time.
Oh wait, yeah, he wasn't there for the Super Bowl team, but you're right. But he was there with I think Berrien and Muhammad were there with him in 08. But anyhow, let's talk a little bit about the draft. And by the way, the phones are now open. 774-992-8702 is the phone number if you want to give us a call. We'll take your calls now. We don't take calls in the first 30 seconds of the show. I saw the phone light up in the first 30 seconds. I'm not doing that. Sorry. You got to let me get into my rhythm first.
Nah, you're
not.
No, thanks.
Yeah, you're not coming in and hijacking my monologue.
Someone's like, shut up and talk about the Celtics right away.
Yeah. We'll get into the Celtics, obviously. I honestly don't think this loss means anything to them.
No, I don't either.
It does highlight a glaring issue with the Celtics that will ultimately prevent them from winning a championship, but we'll get into that in a little bit. We'll get into my Lakers. We'll get into Luka and Reeves coming back potentially this week or next week or next series rather. But we'll get into all that. 774-992-8702 is the phone number if you want to give us a call. Feel free. Fire away. The phone lines are open. We will take your calls now. But we can't take your calls in the first 2 minutes we're on the air. I don't know what radio show you've ever listened to that opens up and they're just like, all right, by the way, we know you think you're more important than everything that we have to say. Remember, we're the ones that are creating the content. Right. We're the ones that are telling you what's important and what to talk about. And you just think you're going to waltz in here and just, take the shit over. You got another fucking thing coming.
So that's exactly what's going to happen, bitch. No,
yeah, no, you can suck my ass. You can suck my dick straight from the back. But anyhow, let's get in a little bit real quick, just recap. Sean, Patriots draft, obviously, kind of. I mean, you pay attention to the draft a lot. You're one of my draft guys that I go to.
I was not surprised with Caleb Lomu at pick 20. What was that? 29.
The 28. Offensive guard.
Lomu.
Guard, right tackle, right?
He was he's a right tackle, and they strictly will probably keep him at right tackle under Morgan Moses until Morgan Moses either retires or whatever.
Yep.
That's basically his replacement. Their second pick in the second round for the Patriots anyway, Gabe Akis. His last name looks like Jackass. But
yes.
He does not spell out the J. The guy, again, beast of an athlete, but another guy that doesn't kind of transition well to the NFL. He may be someone that gets bogged down in the NFL and overpowered by good offensive linemen, and he may have taken advantage at Illinois over shitty opponents.
Yep.
But he is a freak athlete. He played 3 years. He had 58 sacks. He has a lot of forced fumbles. He's kind of one of those Mike Vrabel dog guys that was always
he's got that dog in him.
It's the guys Vrabel likes of just I will kill myself on the line for you consistently. And Vrabel's all right, as long as you're consistent, that's what I love. And then immediately the third round, They picked the tallest fucking tight end in the draft, but with the most question marks as well. Eli Raritan, he's 6'7". He's blown out the same knee twice, which is a big issue for him. But he's 6'7", wide body, great ability to catch, but never a big offensive producer in college at Notre Dame. Biggest thing you have to look out for him is that he's a good blocker already at college. Biggest red flags, even in the third round, 2 massive knee injuries already at his age. He's 6'7". Knee injuries do not get better when you're 6'7". 6'7". Knee injuries do not get better when you're 6'7", or he still has a lot of room on his body because even though he's that tall, he looks thin still, that he can put on good, probably 20, 30 pounds and hold it well. So he has potential to be a great blocker, more like a Kyle Brady and not like a Gronkowski. Because when people saw him get drafted, they're like, he looks like Rob Gronkowski's body type. It's like, don't even do that.
Totally different skill set.
Don't even do that comparison. Yes, people look the same, does not mean anything else.
You know, Tom Brady has never thrown for more than 30 touchdowns in a season without Rob Gronkowski or Randy Moss on
that
his
is
team.
100% true.
I know it is.
And did you know Vegas?
I said it.
Vegas is an early line put out there by talking about our friend Pete, whatever you say, Schrager again. Schrager said he heard that if the Patriots get, which he believes as well, A.J. Brown on June 2nd, the early over-under touchdown line for A.J. Brown from Vegas will be 15 touchdowns.
I don't think he even comes close to that.
They think because the belief is that he will get thrown the ball an obscene amount of times in New England.
That I mean, I could see him having close to 200 targets.
That I believe, even as a Patriots fan.
I mean,
but health plays a big factor as well.
But let's
will
say
he be healthy for it?
But what was it? How many touchdowns did Marvin Harrison have the year he caught 144 balls? Right?
Didn't he have like 210 or 220?
Let's see. He was 205 targets.
Damn. I was off by
143 catches.
That's fucking insane.
1,700 yards. Still only 11 touchdowns.
You know what's hilarious?
And that was in 2002.
I guarantee you, Peyton Manning was furious with all those drops in between. He's like, I threw it to 205 times, and you only caught 144.
143, and but I highly doubt Marvin Harrison dropped a lot of those.
No,
balls.
I know, but you know what I'm saying with Manning. Manning's like very meticulous.
Marvin's highest statistical touchdown year was 15, right on the dot with what you're saying.
Yep.
164 targets, 109 receptions. I could see those kind of numbers in terms of targets and receptions for A.J. Brown if he goes to New England, but the problem. But I don't think you're going to see those touchdowns. Like 15 touchdowns for a receiver now is super fucking hard to accomplish.
For sure.
And not for nothing, Sean, but we looked at the schedule a couple of weeks ago. We already know what it looks like, and we already know it's going to be insanely more difficult than it was this year, at least on paper right now. And then on top of that, if A.J. Brown goes to the Patriots, they're going to go, okay, well, we're not going to let A.J. Brown beat us. Make everyone else.
Right.
Like, and not for nothing, but that offensive line is still kind of fucking ass. I mean, until Campbell figures out how to, not get, turned perpendicular to the line, they got protection issues. Like, and May has, May does hold on to the ball a little bit. Sometimes he can make all the throws. He's a great talent and everything else. But I think regardless of whether the Patriots acquire A.J. Brown or not, they are going to have less wins than they did last year.
Oh, I believe that as well. Full-heartedly.
And I think, like I said,
I think they'll be a better team, but with less wins.
Yeah, we said that. We said they'll be a better roster and a better team, but they'll have less wins than they did last year.
I like that trade-off.
I don't know, though, that they're the better team, if you will, is going to be exponentially good enough to really, I think their win total this year, I think their ceiling is like 10 wins.
See, I'm off by. I do with the any given Sunday a couple of bounces rule about. I said as a spider crawling down right in the middle of your forehead. It's like I want to say
dead motherfucker.
I said 11 was my immediate.
11 would be an excellent season for them.
Yes, that's what I said.
Given the schedule,
but then I said,
and I could see that. I could see 11.
But then I said maybe
if everything bounces right.
Correct. But then I said. Bounce of the ball. I said maybe they win 12. If they run into injuries, maybe they only win 10. I definitely still think they're a playoff team. I definitely still think they make it to the second round of the playoffs. I don't know if they get back to the AFC Championship game this year. I definitely don't say Super Bowl this year. I don't see it.
No, definitely not. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say 10-7, and they miss the playoffs.
See,
I don't know.
How's the AFC? The AFC is not powerhouses. That's the problem.
Well, you've got 3 teams in the AFC West that can make it with
Denver,
Kansas City, San Diego.
San Diego, I don't know. I don't trust San Diego. No offense.
I don't either, but they're probably going to win enough games to get to the playoffs.
Maybe
they're going to win 10+.
No offense to our San Diego fan, Carl. That's very. Dave,
I think Denver, San Diego, Kansas City. Well, and Kansas City will put a little asterisk on them because I don't know what they're going to do. Where Mahomes is at yet. So let's say
I think Mahomes is playing.
Let's say there's 2 out of the West, Denver and San Diego.
I'll give you 3. I'll say the 3 still.
I still think you're going to get 2 out of the AFC South, whether that be Indiana. It's going to be a combination of Indy, Jacksonville, Houston. I could see Houston taking a step back and not making it. I could see Jacksonville, Indy making it. Because if Danny Dimes stays healthy, I mean, that team started off 9-1 last year.
I don't know how to feel about Houston yet.
I don't either. That's why I'm saying, but I feel like that's why I think they could be the odd man out. But there's 4, which leaves 3 spots left.
Buffalo's making it.
Buffalo's definitely getting in.
Yep.
Okay, so there's 2 spots left. Now we've got Pittsburgh, Baltimore. We've got New England. You've got, who am I missing? Kansas City, who I'll put on the back. I'm going to put Kansas City on the back end of that because, again, I don't know where Mahomes is at. Kansas City, and then whoever, Houston, even though we have them on kind of like the outside looking in. And then beyond that, I mean, if Joe Burrow stays healthy, Cincinnati's probably going to be in the mix. I don't think they're going to be a good team, but they'll be in the mix. So there's 11 teams now that you have vying. Like, I think at the end of the day for New England, that 6-7 spot
6-7
could get tight. You know what I mean? Because I think Buffalo's going to win the division. I think that
Buffalo,
I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion, but Buffalo should have won the division last year.
Buffalo really
they stepped on their dick.
Yeah, they fired the coach. They brought in the offensive coordinator.
But they had to go on the road to play. They had the games they had to play different from New England, where they had to go on the road and play Houston on a Thursday night or a Monday night. I think it was a Monday night.
Monday.
And it was just like a weird game, and Houston's defense just was ripping that night. I mean, would they sack him 8 times?
Something crazy.
And something insane. And even though it was even more than that, and they were still like short. Like even after that performance, they still were like double-digit sacks behind Denver, like trailing them. But anyway, it was funny because everybody was trying to put the Texans in the Broncos category and like in terms of like pass rushing defenses. I'm like, yeah, not even close, dude. Stop, just stop. But anyway. They addressed some stuff in the draft that I think they needed to in terms of offensive line, which I think was the most important thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I know everybody wants the skill position players. I know everybody wants the receivers, the tight ends, the sexy picks, if you will. I don't think New England needs sexy picks right now.
We do need someone like an A.J. Brown in the wide receiver room because without an A.J. Brown, that wide receiver room is dog shit.
Listen, if you go get A.J. Brown, if you have to give up a first-round pick next year to get A.J. Brown,
I don't want to give up 2027. I'm going to be
I'm
on
all
the
for
record.
it. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm all for it. And you know me, I'm never all for first-round picks for receivers.
I don't want to give up 2027 because you're going to get a lot of teams desperate for quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. That's going to inflate a lot of the good talent to drop down the draft board more than they usually would.
Truth.
And I don't want to give up on that blue chip prospect at the end of round 1, 20 to 30 pick range, where we're probably going to be, because we're going to get 3.5 years of A.J. Brown.
I think they're going to be like, I put right now, if I'm picking the Patriots draft spot
24.
next year, 18, 19 is where I'm putting them.
That's even lower. I definitely don't want to give that fucking spot.
And right to your point. If that's the case, then yeah, you definitely don't want to give that pick.
2028, sure. Bye.
But even with A.J. Brown, I'm still putting them like high teens, low 20s, because I just don't think that they're going to be as good at. I think they overachieved in a way last year that has everybody in New England thinking that like, oh, we're back. Like, dog, your coach is in balls deep right now in a like a whole scandal. Your quarterback has no protection. He fumbles the ball at a rate you can measure by the minute.
He's got to do better with
They
that.
have no skill position players. Even if they get A.J. Brown, it's still like, all right, cool. Like, yeah, you get an upgraded Stephon Diggs, but what are we really talking about here? Like, I just don't. And then you look at the schedule and where they got to go, the games they're going to have to play on the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a fucking brutal. It's going to be a tough year, even with A.J. Brown on that roster. So, if I'm New England, honestly, and I'm looking at this objectively, I'm going to sit there. I'm going to say, you know what? Let's hold on to that first-round pick. Let's not give it up for A.J. Brown. If the Eagles want a second and a fourth, or maybe even a second and a third, you know, like a second this year and a third next year, okay, we'll make that deal. But the thing is, too, is the longer you wait out Philly, the cheaper you're going to get A.J. Brown.
Yep.
Because even when the June 1st thing happens and everything's and Philly's like, oh, we're off the hook for the money. Okay, cool. Then I don't care. Keep him. Oh, he's a malcontent and he's a terrible person in the locker room. Doesn't want to be there. Sounds like a you problem. Here's what I'm offering. Take it or leave it. Howie Roseman's not an idiot. He's not going to get fleeced, but A.J. Brown might force his hand.
He also showed his hand with the whole signing 3 wide receivers and drafting one in the first round.
That too. But they loaded up on talent. Like, they're basically saying, like, A.J. Brown's out of here.
Yeah, he's 100%
Which,
gone.
to me, already kind of sounds like they probably already have a deal in place.
But they can't.
They can't
legally.
say it.
Yeah.
And then everything going on with Vrabel and the extracurriculars, if you will, they probably don't want to announce anything early because we don't want to put the Patriots in a bad spot if they are, in fact, the dancing partner that they came with. And fucking A. You know what I mean? I see New England as a competitive, pain-in-the-ass team next year.
Yeah.
But I don't see them as like a deep playoff run. I still think they're like last year. I feel like last year they were 2 years ahead of schedule.
Nobody was gunning for them last year.
Nope.
So everyone kind of overlooked them a bit.
A little bit, but not really because the Drake May hype train started early.
It did.
The media Drake May hype train started super early. I mean, we were talking about it for weeks.
I know, but then the offense teetered off end of the year, and then they couldn't get back on track.
And then Drake May's fumbling issues started popping up, and
the offensive line literally got worse every week.
Yeah, and it wasn't because of injury either. That's the other thing.
Well, one injury.
Campbell was hurt for a period,
And
but
that's on him. You played through it. You got to fucking take the
right.
shit.
You own it.
Yeah,
you own it. Like you were there.
I don't want to hear. Well, I was injured. Nope. Then fucking sit out. Everyone told you sit out.
Listen, if he comes back and he's a lights out left tackle next year,
sure, they'll write it off.
Awesome, dude.
They'll write it off.
And honestly, I hope for his sake, I hope that happens because I like the kid.
He seems like a funny kid.
Right. I mean, even like Vrabel, like, you know, he takes his shirt off and he's like, Jesus Christ, kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the hell is that? Like, I love that shit. That's funny to me. Like, I think that's good. That's good locker room camaraderie. But to our next point, and we'll stay on the Patriots with this, the Vrabel-Rossini thing.
Wild. It
keeps getting deeper and deeper. And we're finding out, we're not finding out, but we're starting to be able to connect more dots here.
That it's been going on since he was head coach of the Vikings.
Titans.
I'm sorry, the Titans. Thank you.
So my biggest thing, and this is what I want to say about the Vrabel-Rossini relationship thing. Now, I have absolutely no fucking issue with Mike Vrabel having an affair with Diana Rossini and Diana Rossini having an affair with Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, it
listen,
sucks for the partners.
Do I condone adultery? Absolutely not. Do I think it's a little bit scummy? Absolutely.
100% it is.
However, I don't know your situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not married to Diana Rossini, and I'm not married to Mike Vrabel's wife.
Jen Vrabel.
I don't know what went on behind closed doors in their households and I'm not saying I'm not excusing the behavior because adultery at the end of the day is wrong. You made a commitment. You took the vows. You said you weren't going to do this. However, things happen. Adults are going to be adults. Adults are going to do adult things. Shit happens. Sometimes these things happen. Mm-hmm. And I'm not here to not blaming Vrabel, Rossini. I don't know what their situations are. I don't know what goes on in their households with their significant others that may or may not have put them in a position where they felt like this was
a good choice.
Right, a better choice than what they had. That, my dad always used to tell me, he goes, you get a girlfriend, and she, or a wife, whatever, you tell her, hey, man, if the puppy doesn't get it fed at home, he's going to start eating out of the trash. So,
Jesus.
And that's great life advice right there.
It's funny. The eating out of the trash part is like,
I mean, because
hopefully it's not the trash.
Because, well, you might have filet mignon at home sitting on the table, but if you can't eat it, you might go grab some fucking fried chicken scraps out of the dumpster. You know what I mean? Because you got to eat.
Chicken.
You know what I mean? Dogs got to eat. So, I got that dog in me.
Oh my God.
But I'm just saying, like that's the way it is. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you Mike Vrabel should be fired. Or
no, I don't think that at all.
Mike
that's
Vrabel.
Crazy.
Now, based on, hold on. There's a second part to that. I'm not gonna tell you Mike Vrabel should be fired based on just the fact that he was having an affair with Diana Rossini, which I think we can all pretty much come to the conclusion, even though they haven't admitted it yet.
Something happened. There's a picture of them kissing at a bar.
In the words of Ilhan Omar, some people did something. Okay?
Who the fuck is Ilhan Omar?
That Somali bitch from Minnesota. Remember she was talking about 9/11? And she refused to say Muslim terrorists flew planes in the
I got
building.
you, I got you.
She was like, some people did some things, okay?
All right.
But
for
we're
a
not
second, I
blaming
was
all
like,
of them.
what was that?
It's an inside political joke. Come on.
Well, I missed that one. I was like, do you know how much political shit is said on a daily basis at this point? It's impossible to keep up.
It is not.
People
I keep
say
up with it all the
insane
time.
shit every day.
Well, listen, stop firing. Listen, if you don't follow Hassan Piker, Myron Gaines, the Hodge twins, they're all fucking cocks.
I did send you a guy doing Trump as for Dune again, a new version of it, and I thought I was fucking dying listening to it.
Trump impersonations are usually pretty funny.
Yeah, the one doing like Trump is ruling over Arrakis for Dune and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's great. But anyway, I'm not saying that he should be fired for the affair.
Okay.
But I think the part that people are missing here, and this is what I want to really put I really want to put a point of emphasis on this in terms of what I believe the real underlying issue and why this affair has become such a mainstream media topic. And I think a lot of people are glossing over it. And I see it in the comment sections of every little picture on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. The problem isn't that he's having an affair. Adultery happens in all walks of life. In pro sports, it happens tenfold. I mean, I'm pretty sure in the NBA, every player's contract has a stipulation in it that you must commit a certain amount of acts of adultery each year, otherwise your contract and your NBA status is voided. Like, it's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Like, they gotta make sure that everybody is fucking somebody, whether it's for good, bad, or otherwise. Okay.
COVID, they had to make a rule like you can't bring anybody into the hotel, and the players were getting
The players were like, the fuck, we can't.
She's a DoorDash driver.
Yeah.
We don't allow those.
But what I think people are missing about this particular relationship and the dynamic of it is that Vrabel was the head coach of a team. She was a prominent reporter for major news outlets.
ESPN at the time.
At the time, she was ESPN. And again, and I don't think, and I'm just going to say this too.
No, please do.
I don't think a lot of this has to do with his time with New England. Because what I'm about to say.
It starts year one in Tennessee.
In Tennessee. I think the majority of the problems stem from his time in Tennessee. He was having an affair with a prominent ESPN reporter at the time. The issue with that is he could be using her as a conduit to leverage his position to get free agents and people interested in coming to or to other GMs and other ways around the league. Basically, he could use her to tamper, which the NFL has a very strict policy against. I know we all know it always happened. That's why we have the legal tampering period now, because they got tired of policing it, and they're like, well, we can't suspend all 32 GMs and all 32 head coaches, so we're just going to make this a legal thing. The problem with this is that it goes beyond that. It goes beyond the tampering. Because if he's banging Diana Rossini and he says, hey, floated out there that the Tennessee Titans are interested in trading X, Y, or Z, or trading for X, Y, or Z, or we're going to do this, that, and the other thing, that circumnavigates the rules of the league, that undermines the rules, and it goes against, and that creates a very distinct competitive advantage for that team. Because as we know, ESPN, especially being ESPN, Diana Rossini says, well, my confidential sources say the Tennessee Titans are interested in shopping A.J. Brown. And A.J. Brown's sitting there going, who the fuck? Who's this confidential source? And it's the head coach. That's a problem. Mm-hmm. And not for nothing, but even ever since then, now that gambling is legal, this is an even bigger problem.
NFL's
because
fault.
you can't have that right. But it is.
Yes.
But they're not going to take the fall for it.
Absolutely not.
They're going to put the blame on a fall man. And now you've got pictures surfacing from like 6 years ago
At bars. Yeah.
of Rossini and Vrabel. Somebody clearly had an axe to grind and released those pictures, or
I don't
took
believe
those pictures and they had an idea like, ooh, these might be useful someday.
I don't believe it was, because now the story is it was a random couple that was using it.
No. They took the random couple took the pictures of them at the
Hotel.
at the resort like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or back like whatever for
But
the
then
retreat. But the
sold
ones
it
at
to
that
New York Post.
but the ones from the restaurant that surfaced from 6 years ago, we don't know where those came from.
Right. Devil's advocate here, because I've heard this argument a lot, and I think have combated it with a couple of people. And I said, listen, I agree with you. I specifically have said, like, this looks bad. It's the Patriots. Like, the Patriots always have, like, these fucking things that go
These
on.
scandals like just hanging. It's like a black cloud that hangs
It's like-
over Gillette.
It's like if something has to go wrong, it's like fucking just name Gillette Stadium Murphy's Law Stadium.
Yeah.
Because it's like fucking something's bound to happen here that we fucking can't see yet.
Or just name it Ashley Madison.
That would be great, actually. It'd be
Imagine
really
if
funny.
Ashley Madison came back and bought the naming rights to Gillette Stadium. That'd be hilarious.
That would be awkward. AshleyMadison.com.
We're here at Ashley Madison Stadium in Foxborough.
And you see like a silhouette of like a woman in a doorway.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, I'm just saying, Ashley Madison, if you want to revive your image, you might have an opportunity here.
So, devil's advocate.
And you also have an opportunity to do like the second funniest thing of all time.
If there is proof, if there is legitimate proof, if there is a text exchange, if there is an email, if there is voice recordings, dead to rights, there's a punishment. Because you're specifically putting out information to influence decisions in the league based on falsified information. That is intentionally deceiving.
Or true information, but that can't be delivered via that.
Correct,
way.
because how many times do teams do this anyway? They use a conduit to kind of be like float ideas out there.
All of them do.
All of them do. But none of us
All
have.
of them.
None of them none of us have a problem with it because.
But also,
Adam Schefter is not fucking the owner of the Colts.
I was going to say, right, yeah, Jim Irsay is not fucking having a gangbang with Adam Schefter.
Yes.
You know?
So if all of a sudden Adam Schefter is having an affair with the new owner of the Colts, and all of a sudden like that would be news too. The same
Sure
way.
it would.
Because that's the thing. It's just like the problem is it's all hearsay until there's proof. And I feel like since there hasn't been one text that has come out, one text, one phone call, one recording, nothing, which I find suspicious.
You know why? Because they're waiting. If they have those, they're sitting on them. They're not going to release them now because they're going to wait and see what happens first. Because, listen, if I'm Mike Vrabel and Robert Kraft calls me into his office and is like, we got to let you go. My response to Mike Vrabel was like, you going to fire my ass for trying to catch a ride on a slip and slide? Yo, fuck that shit.
He's like, you did the same
You're
thing
like,
3 years
you
ago.
You were just getting handies from Asians at the fucking Orchids of Asia
yeah.
and got stopped on Super Bowl Sunday of all days.
And literally nothing
or
happened to
AFC
you.
Championship Sunday, you
Nothing
fucking
happened.
cunt. And
Nothing.
nothing happened. So listen, like I said, I am not gonna crucify Mike Vrabel over trying to catch a ride on Diana's slip and slide. That being said,
Yeah.
if he was using her as a conduit to leverage his situation,
I'm sure he was.
you'd be dumb not to.
Right.
Honestly, I mean, it's the NFL. We always talk. What's the difference between 8 wins and 12 wins? 4, 5, 6 plays a year, maybe.
But then,
and if you get one player that can make 4 or 5 of those plays for you, yeah, obviously you'd be a fucking asshole. You wouldn't be doing your job if you didn't try to get those players in your building, right?
I do feel before Diana Rossini deleted literally all of her social media forever, people were scouting very intelligently bits of major news information. Like, she knew that the Titans were not going after Tom Brady and keeping Ryan Tannehill. Before Brady even was letting the Patriots know that he was leaving, they were like, if Tom Brady leaves, the Titans will not go after him. I have it on very good sources. It was fucking Vrabel. Her having a child 2-3 years ago and naming the child fucking Mike Vrabel. Naming the child Michael is wild to me.
I mean, if I'm Rossini's husband, I'm gonna probably be like, yo, I'm gonna need a paternity test.
Yes, 100%. Even if it was a one-time thing, even if no sexual experiences happened between them and it was a lot of fucking flirting and shit, then it's really cringy to name your son after someone you had feelings for.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible optic look.
Yeah, that'd be like could you imagine like marrying your wife and then like naming your first child after your ex-girlfriend?
Not in my case.
That wouldn't work for you, but
not in my immediate case.
Right, it would be like a junior. Which would be weird. But like, that doesn't work. Oh well, right. Not but you know what I mean.
I know
like,
what you mean. Yeah.
Or like the roles were reversed. Like if
Yes.
she named it after her ex-boyfriend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Like,
if it was like Eric or something like that, you'd be like, what the fuck are we naming this kid Eric?
You'd be
for?
like, I can't.
Why?
I guess I could name my daughter Kayla after my wife and my ex-girlfriend. Apparently, Sean is the thing for Kaylas.
Fuck off.
It's a weird
It's
trend.
not. It's a fucked up thing, and
It's a weird trend you got going there, but
I would tell you that fucking when my cousin Katie got married, she had like a chef come over the house and like cook and everything like that.
Yeah.
I told you that story. Her name was also Kayla.
No.
So anyway, Asian woman comes over. She's cooking, does all this stuff. I'm giving her like free advertisement, obviously. What immaculate cook. She does everything. She does all the cleaning. She sets out all the food, all the dishes and everything like that. We ate the food. It was her like pre-wedding reception at the house, and everything was phenomenal. So my wife, very pregnant with our daughter at the time, I look at her jokingly and I'd be like, I think I love this woman. So just letting you know because of how good the food was. And then the woman turns around. She's like, all right, everybody. Thank you so very much. My name is Kayla. I see my wife like this. Look at me so slowly. And I know she's looking at me, and I just stare straight ahead because I know what I'm going to hear next.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time, my cousin Katie turns around and looks at me, and I'm like, this whole family is just messed up. Like, stop looking at me. It's like, it's not like a compulsion. I'm not like the Incredible Hulk. Well, all of a sudden, I'm like ripping off my clothes. I hear the name. Like, people are sick.
Sean hears the word Kayla, and he's just like, I immediately thought baby shower. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing in the world.
But it's funny because other people have like straight up asked me other things like, oh, do you have a thing for like that name? And I'm like, no, it was fucking coincidence. All right, just leave it the fuck alone. It's a coincidence.
Yeah, no, I mean, I did have a crush on a Lauren in high school, and then I married a Lauren. So that's about as close as I've come.
That's it.
Yeah.
But it's like if a woman dates 2 Johns, it's like, oh, do you have a thing for John? It's like, no, it's a fucking for our age. It happened to be like a fucking common name at the time.
Oh, right, and then like men, guys' names are different too, like because we get a lot of times we get like the biblical names. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The Michaels, the Josephs, the Johns, the Peters.
Absolutely.
So
Peter.
Sort of,
Nobody's Peter anymore.
No, I know. Not many Petes anymore.
No.
I like Pete's. I do.
George is coming back big.
I like George.
George is very popular again.
George is a good one.
A lot of little Georges.
Little Georges. Little Georgie.
All I can think of when I see a little kid named George, I think of Costanza.
Well,
that's all I think about.
When you think of the most famous Georges, right?
Yep.
Immediately my mind goes to Costanza, but then secondary goes
Curious.
to Steinbrenner.
Nope, I'm Curious. Then Steinbrenner.
Which, I mean, I guess Costanza and Steinbrenner are kind of linked You know,
synonymous at this point.
in a way, because that makes sense. So I mean, at least that adds up, right?
I hate this organization. You're all schmucks.
I don't know what I
destroying
would
the
if I had
trophy.
if I had a kid. I don't know what the hell I would name it.
My
I'd probably name it something stupid like Vaughn Miller. Like that's his first name, Vaughn Miller.
we couldn't think of my son's name for the longest time. Anybody that asked me, I was like, fuck, what was his name from fucking Chips? Tony Danza was his first name. I was like, my son's name is Tony Danza. That's his first name. Everyone was like, are you being serious? I'm like, yeah, we can't come up with a name, so that's his temporary name.
I mean, my dad named me after Joe Montana, so
I was named after Connery.
I see.
Oh, but the other name,
Two goats.
the other name was
I'm-
Clint. I was almost Clint.
That's not a bad one either.
Ah, yes, it is, because if you take the N away, that's a shitty name for a dude.
Nah.
Ah, how many guys you see named Clint? Be honest. You have Clint Eastwood,
Clint
and that's
Boyer.
it. No, Clinton. I would have just been Clint.
Yeah, Clint Boyer,
Yeah.
the NASCAR driver.
Okay, that's like one dude besides Clint Eastwood.
I'm sure I can find more.
I was like,
I don't
very,
think Clint.
I, was very
I don't think
thankful.
Clint's a bad name. I'm just saying.
I would have got roasted.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I got roasted for my last name. I couldn't help that.
Who the fuck last names? Like, shut the fuck up.
I know. But you know how kids are, dude. They're gonna roast you for anything anyway.
Yeah, no.
They're gonna find no matter what. Even if they can't make fun of your name, they're gonna make fun of your face.
Oh, I got made fun of for being tall as a kid.
Yeah.
And I was B's in the front,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So I'd sit in front of all the Correas, the Silvas, the Souzas, and I can't see in front of this fucking giant.
And they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're a fucking manlet, you little Portuguese.
Oh,
Fuck
we're in
out of
first
here."
and second grade.
Yeah, well, that too. Like, sorry you guys don't. Sorry your people don't grow above 5'9".
That was when my
problem.
mom would tell everybody, "Oh, my son's just big boned," and I was like, "You know what an embarrassment that was? You told people that. You just fed me like shit. I was probably 112 pounds at that
Listen,
point."
man, I've been a fat motherfucker my whole life.
No
so,
kidding, but don't tell people I was big boned. Just I was fat. Just admit to it.
Listen, as
I'm
someone
not- I'm
someone
upset.
whose parents just said, "No, he's just fat."
Yes.
I can tell you it wasn't better.
Ah.
At least big boned was like it was a small white lie that you knew was fake, but you were like, I'm big boned, fuck you.
She says it to this
I got
day.
big bones. At least my parents were like, my dad called me Fluffy. Like the entire 7th grade year, because that was the name of Cartman's pet pig.
Yes, I remember.
In South Park.
Hey,
And
Fluffy.
it was like, hey, Fluffy, go fucking get some wood. Go stack some wood.
Jesus.
Hey, Fluffy, go cut the grass. And I was like, fuck off with this Fluffy nickname. And my brothers thought it was hilarious because, remember, I had 2
They're
brothers.
younger, of course.
Yeah.
So I think it's hilarious.
Paul was 2 years younger than me, so he obviously knew exactly what was going on.
No.
Squeefy was like pretty young,
He was like, what?
but
3,
that also
4?
that also made it worse because he was so young he didn't understand. So like he would just pile on. He'd be like, "Hey, Fluffy," and I'd be like, "I'm gonna backhand the fuck out you, little man."
And he probably thought it was like the coolest thing. I'm
I'm
he was
making
like,
fun of my big brother.
No, he was like Michael Scott. He was like, inside jokes. Finally.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm finally in on one.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I got called every. Listen, I've been the fat kid my whole life.
Oh, that was me growing up too. And it was
I
like-
mean,
but my mom still explains pictures. She goes, "Oh, this is when he was big bone." I'm like, "What are you doing? I'm 40. What are you doing?"
Mom, big bone
It's
isn't
all
a
right.
thing. I was just a fat child. Like,
When my bones didn't get thinner as I got older. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, my bones didn't suddenly just decrease in mass. Anyway, it's just funny, but I don't know. I grew up as the fat kid, and I got called fat. I mean, I was.
Oh my God.
My first real nickname was Tubbs,
Tubbs. Oh my God.
and because I wasn't like Chubbs was like too overplayed, so they called me Brandon and Ryan called me Tubbs.
I remember.
But I made it cool and I spelled it with 2 B's and a Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
And they were just like, "Yeah, you're not doing that. It's Tubbs." And I was like, "Nah, man, I'm gonna spell it with 2 B's and a Z." And they're like, "No, you're not. You're fat. Fuck you." And I'm like, "Shut up." I'm like, "I can spell my nickname how they want." They're like, "No, that's not how nicknames work. Fat fuck."
Dude, there was one day. I think this kid has passed away, and that sucks. And so I'm sorry. It was Nick. I think the last name was like Arsenal or something like that. We were in class together. I remember I was wearing a Terminator 2 shirt. It was black, and it had the gold T2 in the chest. Nothing else.
Kinda
Nothing on the
rad.
back. That was it. And I just loved the shirt. And he just walked by the desk one day, and he just went, "Titties 2." And he just kept walking. And I was like, God damn it.
Fuck.
Like, didn't say anything out loud, but in my head, I'm like, fuck.
You're like, God damn it, I can't even wear a goddamn Terminator 2 t-shirt without getting fucking ripped.
But you know what's so like in the moment I was like devastated, like never saw it coming. He had stopped, made the comment, and then just continued on, and I was like,
it's even worse.
it was like, Jesus Christ, did anybody else hear that? And I'm
Like he just made it like flippantly, like on his way by, and like maybe like anybody with an earshot might have heard it, and they're probably still laughing about it to this day, like behind your back. Like,
I'm laughing about it now because I was like,
trust
that's
me.
great. Like,
dude, there's so many
that was
things,
brilliant.
so many things that I remember like from being a kid, like just that like come up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that, and like I'm like, fuck.
I do think he has passed. I thought I saw something like a while back, like he passed.
I thought you were gonna say it was. Then you said Nick. I thought you were talking about my neighbor from Fairhaven there.
No,
That was sad.
No, he's been gone a long time.
Like 10 years, over 10 years.
No. Has it been 10? No.
For that Nick, yeah, my neighbor Nick, yeah, because I was living in Fairhaven at the time.
You know what makes it even worse?
About 10 years now.
The girl completely lied, and we found out about it like 4 years ago, and it makes it like 10 times worse.
I don't know that story, so I'll have to ask you.
All right,
I'll get it off the air because I don't want to bog the show down with that. But
no.
yeah, that sounds interesting. And I would like to know it. But also, like, yeah, that sucked because he lived literally next door to me. Anyhow, as far as the Broncos draft goes, Sean,
I loved your last pick, Mr. Irrelevant. I'm fairly certain you
Mr.
got
Red
Murdoch
Murdoch?
from Buffalo.
yeah.
The dude is obviously boomer bust. Every last guy in the draft is boomer bust, but he is a massive forced fumble machine. He hits guys incredibly hard.
He is that was.
But he misses a lot of tackles too.
Because he's usually going for the fumble, he's like going for the strip, and he misses the tackle. So,
but I like that potential.
You know what? You know what that makes for? An outstanding special teams player.
Absolutely,
A guy that's going to go down, rip down the field, get in position, and you know what? If he makes if he gets the strip, great. If he doesn't, there's 2 or 3 guys to clean it up.
Yeah. I think I saw you. I looked at your draft. I think I saw you got Jolly out of.
Justin Jolly out of NC State.
I don't like him at all. I think he sucks.
I think he's got raw potential, but again,
you'll end up hating him. I think
he's a 5th round pick, so
it's all a crapshoot. Cage Casey is good backup talent right now. Nothing big.
He's somebody. But you know what though? I like George Patton's ability to identify offensive line talent.
Yeah.
You know, we saw it with Quinn Miners. We've seen it, consistently through Patton's tenure in Denver, where he's been able to identify guys in the late rounds, offensive linemen that might not be immediate day one starters, but progress into, like Quinn Miners. I mean, arguably Quinn Miners is the best guard in the league. I mean, or one of anyway.
I think so. I think he's up there.
And this is a guy that was out in the woods punching trees.
Yeah, people do fucking weird shit like the punching trees thing. I didn't even know he was punching trees. The running back you drafted,
Jonah Coleman,
Washington.
I think he is
J.K. Dobbins' replacement for when he eventually gets hurt, because I think they're already suspecting he's going to get hurt.
And I feel like his skill set and the way he runs the ball with his
Offsets
patience.
Harvey.
No, I think he's just a J.K. Dobbins clone.
Yeah, which I think offsets Harvey.
Yeah. Harvey I think is going to be. Like, I think you'll see Harvey come into his own a little bit this year.
I think Harvey is going to be his updated version of Darren Sproles when he was in New Orleans. Yeah,
a little bit. I think he's going to be closer to
not the same size.
No, I think he's like more of like an Alvin Kamara than a Sproles. Sproles was a very short, compact power. Harvey's more of a kind of a finesse guy. But the thing with Harvey's got speed, but Harvey's not a home run hitter speed. He
does have home run hitter speed.
Right, but
you haven't seen him do it yet.
The thing with Harvey is if he's got 65 yards and he gets in the open field, he's going to get tackled at the 3.
So it's a fucking gas issue? He doesn't have enough gas?
Yeah, he's not like when I think home run hitter, I'm thinking Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, guys that when they get in the open field, it's a no-doubter. You know what I mean? He's
should
gone.
be that guy.
What's his name? What's his name from Atlanta? Algier.
No, not Algier.
Not Algier. The other one. The one that's
Bijan.
Bijan Freeze.
No, Robinson. Yeah.
Bijan Freeze Robinson. Yeah, Bijan Freeze is the dog. I know that's his nickname. Bijan, like those guys are home run hitters, right? Like you've got, and I know there's more. There's plenty more. Like Christian McCaffrey is another one.
One healthy, of course.
You know what I mean? Guys that when they get in the open field and they got one man to beat, they're beating them. I think RJ is like pretty close to that, but he's not quite that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he doesn't. He's not no Sean Moreno, but he's not Clinton Portis. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like somewhere kind of in between. So I'm not gonna sit here and spend a shit ton of time on the Broncos draft. I think the Tyler Onyedum, the defensive tackle out of A&M.
He was the first guy you took.
Yep, that they took at 66 in round 3.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah, I think I think he could eventually be a good John Franklin Myers replacement. My biggest thing with the Broncos draft, I trust Patton. He has hit on so many draft picks, especially late round draft picks over the last couple of years, that I'm not even concerned with this. And he was like, "Oh yeah, but you guys didn't have a first round draft pick." Yeah, cool, dude. We took Jalen Waddle with our first round draft pick. That was our first pick.
Immaculate.
Like, name me one player that you would rather have in this draft over Jalen Waddle right now? You can't.
Actually, if you guys would have somehow, well, you're not in the first round anyway, but if you would have kept your pick and somehow moved up to get Caleb Downs, who I felt like was one of the best players in the draft, and somehow slid to 11 to Dallas.
But we would have never gotten to 11.
I know, but I was surprised to even see Caleb Downs get to 11. I thought he was like one of the top 4 players in this draft.
I mean,
again, that shows the draft was like such shit this year that nobody knew anything. I thought Caleb Downs was like unbelievable, can't miss safety prospect.
but we don't need a safety though. Like,
but he's that good. Like he could have played anything back there.
I mean, but the problem is like DB is not a area of need for Denver. Running back, tight end, offensive line, defensive line, inside linebacker.
Yeah,
those are areas of need.
Oh, always do lines, and you
build from the
defensive
trenches.
line, running back, line, tight end, linebacker.
Right, and if Jolly comes in and he's just some guy who comes out, catches fucking 20 passes over the year, but
if he's a blocker, whatever, fuck it,
or that too. But I don't think he's a very big. I don't think he was a big blocking guy.
It doesn't matter. I mean, if he's just a good blocker and he's just not that big, like whatever.
No, but I mean, I don't think he was I'm just saying, I don't think he was a big. I don't think he was very good at blocking. Is what I meant. Not big blocking guy. I don't think he was a good blocker. I think that was kind of the knock on him. But regardless, Denver's draft. I mean, the draft was what it was.
You didn't need a lot of. Don't forget, you don't need a lot of players. Like, how many players are you getting from the draft that are going to fill needs in your team right now?
I mean, ideally, none.
People always assume that. People always love to throw that in the face of the Patriots too. They're like, "Oh, well, why didn't you draft Lamar Jackson the year you drafted Sony Michel?" It's like, well, Sony Michel that year we got Sony Michel. We also got Isaiah Wynn. Both of those guys led us to the 2018 Super Bowl with Tom Brady. So we technically won a Super Bowl win with those guys. Yeah, we didn't have Tom Brady 2 years later, but you're considering that we would have kept Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson would have turned into who he was in Baltimore, in New England, which I don't still think would have happened because Belichick does not like that type of play for quarterbacking.
I mean, quite frankly, Baltimore's getting to the point where they're not liking that.
But exactly, that's a good point. I know the callers can't hear or the radio people can't hear what Joey just said, but Joey said Baltimore's basically gotten to that point where they don't like that kind of quarterback play anymore either. I know they just got rid of John, and he jettisoned over to the Giants, but, what are we doing in Baltimore too? I feel like that's going to be like a big reset year this year too. The biggest struggle going back to, like, you don't know what you don't know is like the teams at the top end of the draft. Don't take the Patriots because the Patriots had holes and they overachieved this year, so the Patriots had needs they needed to fill. But like teams like the Seahawks, the Buffalo Bills, the Denver Broncos. I don't want to say 49ers because 49ers I feel like had a really bad draft.
But you know what though? The Niners always have bad drafts.
But I think now we have
the Niners having a bad draft is like the sun coming out tomorrow morning.
But I feel like that's a John Lynch issue now. Like now it's consistent. Like they're overreaching for guys a lot.
Yeah, but
and the guys aren't working out.
But it doesn't matter because they end up in the NFC Championship or the divisional round every year,
Well,
and
that's
it's like,
because the coach is fucking working his ass off.
well, yeah, but also they find other ways to get players.
Oh, okay. So talking about other ways of getting players, let's address the elephant in the room of that 13th pick with the Rams.
Yes.
Rams pick comes up. Rams immediately submit the pick, and it comes up quarterback Ty Simpson from Alabama. And there's shock basically across the board. Like, I was stunned they took a quarterback that early.
I distinctly remember on the broadcast, I don't remember who it was that said, well, there it is, the first shocker of the night. Like, and everybody was dumbfounded by that pick.
Even now, people are still dumbfounded by the pick.
Even Sean McVay was dumbfounded by the pick.
So, I don't know. And today, Les Snead came out and said something which I think is a huge cover-up, and I think it's bullshit. Les Snead says they tell all their prospects they talk to, don't tell anybody that you've talked to either myself or Sean McVay, because we like to keep everything on the low. So that's why he said on draft night he's never talked to Sean McVay before. And I was like, I don't believe that, because when they talked to him live after the draft,
dude, every head coach that's involved in the draft process is talking to every prospect.
He was so happy to be drafted, and he was like, I've never even talked to Sean McVay. Like, he was like,
okay,
you know what I mean? Like, he was like excited, but Sean McVay called him on the phone. They show the video of like Sean McVay being like, hey, we're about to take you. See you soon. Good luck. And then gives the phone over to Les Snead, and Les Snead's like, hey, kid, we're about to take you. And he's like very much more interactive, wants to talk about it. Then it gets to the awkward after first round huddle up where you have Les Snead, the GM, and you have Sean McVay. Sean McVay looked very pissed off and like upset to be there.
Yeah,
Les Snead
did not look happy about that
leaning
pick.
forward on his elbows, like ready to take questions, excited. Sean McVay leaning back all the way in his chair, reserved, not many questions. And when they finally ask him a question, he leans forward and he goes, let's make one thing straight. Matthew Stafford is still the quarterback of this team. I was like, that's a really weird start to the question that nobody asked.
But at the same time, I think it needed to be said because obviously they don't want to go into this season, which in all likelihood is Matt Stafford's last, right? Like
Yes.
we know if it hasn't been said already, we know this is probably Matt Stafford's final go-round.
And the rumor was Sean McVay pushed hard for 3 or 4 specific skill players on offense, knowing that they likely will be without Puka Nacua for some of the season.
That's okay, but they can weather that storm. Like you can weather the storm without Puka. And if you have Matt Stafford and Kyron Williams and that offense with Higbee and all those guys, like you can weather that storm, right? Like you're gonna be fine in terms of what you need to do offensively with especially with the defensive talent they have. That's what I'm saying. Like the Rams are gonna be fine if they don't have Puka Nacua. I'm not gonna say they're, I wouldn't say that they're capable of winning a Super Bowl without Puka Nacua because he's certainly going to help.
Oh, he's a massive help, yes.
But they have enough talent on that roster where if Puka gets suspended or whatever or isn't available for 2, 4, 6 games, whatever it ends up being, it's not going to end the Rams season. So I understand why Sean McVay might have been pushing for that. But if I'm Les Snead, I'm looking at this, and now you might know this is Matt Stafford's last go-round. Or maybe it's not. Maybe Matt Stafford says, I got a year or 2, maybe 3. I don't know. We'll see how things go. His back is banged up. Les Snead has to put in. This to me is New England drafting Jimmy Garoppolo.
Absolutely.
Same exact
smart
thing.
move. It is a smart move.
It's a smart move because
But
you're
you
insulating
usually-
yourself against the aging quarterback that you don't know,
Correct.
who might be a little bit wishy-washy on his future. He might have some health issues, which, Brady didn't, but Stafford certainly does. You might not know. You don't know. So if you're Les Snead, I don't have a problem going. Now, do I think 13 overall for Ty Simpson is a bit of a, that's a bit of a reach?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but if that's the guy that you identified that you think, hey, he plays a year behind Stafford in this system, and if Stafford retires, he can step right in and we don't miss a beat, then it's worth it. It's 100% worth it. It's totally worth it because you don't even skip a beat on being Now you got the young quarterback. Now you got arguably the next decade ahead of you with this guy. So, do I like? Because the tough part is with this is the Rams are in a win now situation with Matthew Stafford. They're in a win right fucking now situation.
Absolutely.
Like, this might be our last season, so let's load up on as much shit as we can. However, of those skill players that you feel like you could have gotten in this draft at 13 overall, how many of them do you think were actually going to be able to crack your starting lineup and contribute? There wasn't a Jared Verse on the board for you to be able to take. There wasn't, you don't have a tremendous need in the secondary. You don't have the Rams don't have a lot of holes.
No, they don't. Not right now, anyway.
So to fill a need with a rookie is kind of futile because you don't have anywhere to put him. Now, you can future-proof yourself with a corner, an end, an offensive lineman, a receiver, whatever you might want. But that's all you're doing. You're not giving Matt. I don't think there was anybody available at 13 that was going to be able to directly impact Matthew Stafford's plus minus on winning a Super Bowl this year. Because I already think the Rams are arguably the best team in the NFC right now. As of right now, the Rams are the best team in the NFC.
Oh, you think so? Even over the Seahawks still? The Seahawks defense?
I don't think the Seahawks are going to even. I honestly,
I said Seahawks defense.
Sean, if I'm being dead ass, I think it's more likely the Seahawks miss the playoffs than repeat as Super Bowl champions. All right, that's not even a thick limb to go on. Let me say this. I think it's more likely the Seahawks come up short of the playoffs than they make it to the divisional round. Or I'll even do you one better. I will pretty much guarantee the Seahawks don't win the division this year.
Okay.
And with that, I feel like there is a good chance they miss the playoffs entirely. I'm just saying I don't trust them.
So if I'm the Rams and a couple of guys,
Honestly, I think there's a better chance the Seahawks finish third in the division than there is that they make the playoffs.
I do think.
I mean, then they win it. Yeah.
I do think the Rams could have used someone like a Mekhi Lemon, a Casey Concepcion, or.
Nah,
I'm not going to do a running back because
because where are those guys going to fit in?
The wide receiver slot.
That's what I'm saying. But they're already loaded there. You have Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Like you said, if Puka gets suspended, one of those guys steps in for 6 games.
I wonder about.
But I'm not wasting
I'm
not wasting a 13th overall pick on a receiver who's going to fill in for a potentially suspended number one wide receiver.
Devontae's potentially leaving after this year, too, and retiring.
That's fine. I'll deal with after this year.
So
my goal is this year to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but so that's the point. My goal was, I think a lot of people were thinking, you get a skill player, it protects you in case of the inevitable Puka may miss time.
Don't care.
Get you an extra coverage.
Don't care.
And then if Devontae gets hurt, if Dante leaves,
we got the trade deadline for that. We got the free agent wire for that. We got guys on the roster that I'm sure that they probably are already more familiar with the offense.
Oh, I'm sure.
That are going to be able to pick it up and do more than a rookie would be able to do anyway. Now, maybe you get a rookie with raw talent who comes in and, maybe he makes some great catches, whatever. But I don't give a shit. I'm not banking on Puka being out any significant amount of time for a suspension and then shifting my first-round draft pick philosophy.
I don't think even suspended.
But I'm just saying, even if he,
he went into rehab. So he
why he went into rehab?
Well, he went a little
to make it look good.
Yeah, he went a little wild.
Yeah. He started blaming the Jays, and he was all of a sudden like, "Oh, fuck!"
He did it a lot. All of a sudden, we thought it was crazy. We were like,
"Yeah, well, because it is." And I mean, I won't get into it now, but I feel like this whole blaming the Jews for everything is just gotten so fucking ridiculous that listen, I'll be the first one to rip on Jews, but in a funny South Park way. Yeah, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, Israel needs to be bombed off the map and they suck and or whatever. I'm not Hassan Piker, the Hodge twins, Myron Gaines, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, any of these fucking whack jobs that have completely lost their fucking shit. But anyway, he went. I think Puka bought into that like kind of anti-Semitic rhetoric a little bit too hard, and it's gotten to the point where like now like blaming the Jews is becoming like calling everybody racist. Like, oh, you don't agree with me? You're a racist bigot. You're like, well, no, that's just lazy. Oh, something bad happened? The Jews did it. You're like, no, they didn't. Nope, they did. That's not what happened. But anyhow, people have gotten lazy, intellectually lazy for sure.
100%.
And it's just become a thing. Anyway, but my point is, I'm not shifting my first round draft pick strategy if I'm the Rams because I feel like getting Matt Stafford's heir apparent on the roster now is far more important than worrying about if Puka Nacua is going to miss a couple games.
Absolutely, it's quarterback.
Because let's say Puka misses a couple of games this year, right? Let's say Puka misses 8 games this year. And the Rams are struggling for whatever reason, because I don't know why they would struggle without Puka. Anyway, they still have Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams. They still have a great defense. They're going to be fine. But maybe they're, underperforming a little bit, right? Puka comes back. They don't win the Super Bowl. All right, whatever. But now Puka's back.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have Simpson stepping in because Stafford retires. That's it. I hang it up. I'm done. Cool. Simpson steps in now after having a year living under Matt Stafford in the Sean McVay offense, getting absorbed, understanding what's going on. Then you get Puka back. Now you've got Simpson with a full complement of weapons in front of him. To me, it sounds like a pretty damn good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like I said, Lemon and Concepcion, all those guys, like that sounds great, but the Rams don't have many holes.
They don't. You're right.
So a rookie really isn't going to do them any good unless you're trying to future-proof yourself. And what is the one position, Sean, that you really would like to future-proof yourself at?
I know, the quarterback, of course.
Quarterback, because
I don't like the quarterback.
Don't you think the Miami Dolphins would have liked to have future-proofed themselves a little bit when Dan Marino was getting a little long in the tooth? Or, maybe the Broncos could have done a better job with Brian, better than Brian Greasy?
If you think about it, Miami really did a good job because they went from Marino to Jay Fiedler and Chad Pennington, who are the best two out of literally every quarterback since Marino.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't do a bad job, but going from Marino to that is
a huge drop.
And it's not like Marino was going to the Super Bowl every year either. Let's be honest. He went in his second year and then never went back. But
not his fault sometimes.
Right. That's not to say Marino wasn't capable of getting a team there. It's just they ran into some buzzsaws along the way. But like Elway, Elway retires, you get Brian Greasy. Oof. And then Jake Plummer comes in. Maybe not as prolific, but definitely a better fit for that offense. That's neither here nor there. Obviously, nobody could do it better than fucking San Fran going from Montana to Young.
Oh, my God.
Like, great. That was awesome.
Favre Rogers.
Favre Rogers was great.
There was one more. There was 3 in history.
Montana Young, Favre Rogers, and who are we missing? You mean from like legend, like Super Bowl to Super Bowl?
Yeah, like from one Hall of Famer to another Hall of Famer.
Who the hell are we missing? I think you're right.
I thought we did this before, and we came up with 3.
We've definitely done this before. Like, I mean, like in succession, though.
Yes, not like
back to back.
Yeah.
So, why is this so hard for me?
Unitas to Dan Fouts?
Nah.
Dan Fouts in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, Fouts is a Hall of Famer, absolutely.
That's the third one.
I don't consider that.
I wouldn't consider the Johnny Unitas to Dan Fouts either.
No, I don't count that. No.
And because this is just I went Hall of Fame to Hall of Fame quarterbacks back to back, and it has Montana to Young, Favre to Rogers, and number 3 is Unitas to Dan Fouts.
Yeah, I mean but Fouts was not
that good.
No, and I think Fouts by the time he got to. Did he start in? No, he didn't start in Indy, right?
No, Unitas went to Indy. Unitas went to San Diego.
Right. So no, that doesn't count because that's like an aging. That'd be like saying like, Peyton Manning and Russell Wilson. Like no, I know that's not the case, but like,
Right, no, I know what you mean.
you know what I mean? No,
I swear there was a third one we came up with.
I could almost swear there was too. 5 Rogers, Manning, Young, and Montana.
Who was with Aikman? Who was before Aikman?
Before Aikman, was it Staubach?
Staubach Aikman?
No, I think Staubach. There was a gap there, right? Wasn't White in between them?
No, I think it was it Staubach, Tony Dorsett?
Dorsett was a running back.
Oh fuck, you're right. I thought who was the backup to Staubach? It took over for maybe a year.
You're fucking killing me, Smalls. Hang on. There's my fucking goddamn button. Cowboys. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Right. It was Aikman. Then it was White. Yeah. Danny White was in between. Craig Morton.
It was Danny White.
Craig Morton, Staubach, Danny White were like the 3 big ones in there, and then like there was injuries. Then it was Aikman. But ain't nobody going Aikman to Quincy Carter. I can tell you that.
No.
I don't know. I'd have to look, Sean. Honestly, I mean, I'm sure there's one that I know there's one we're missing.
Maybe it's a current day one that they haven't hit the Hall of Fame or anything yet that we're not thinking of.
That's probably the most likely outcome.
Shit, I can't think of it.
I mean, Manning Luck would be close.
Yeah, but Luck never.
But Luck
the whole
isn't going to
career.
get to the Hall of Fame.
It's not going to be Mahomes. It's not going to be Josh Allen. Not going to be Brady because you wouldn't count for Drew Bledsoe. It's not going to be fucking Drake because there was Cam Newton and there was that fucking Cam Newton video said he fucked me up with fucking Ray J.
Dude,
did you do the math on that? He'd have to start. This is going to be a segue, so I'm sorry, people. He would have to start having sex on his 12th birthday.
Do we have the, let me get that. I'm just going to play the video.
He would have to start having sex on his 12th birthday and have sex with a different woman every single day through today in order to hit the number of women he said that he slept with. It's impossible.
This is absolutely fucking wild, dude.
He's full of shit. Even Cam Newton is like, and he's like, how many numbers you at? You at 4,000 women? And he's like, Cam Newton's like, no. Cam Newton's like, bro, I don't even touch 1,000. Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, this has got to be one
Cam Newton was confused. He's like, is this how many times you've had sex in your life? And he's like, no, how many women I've with different. He goes, then I had 10,000 women orgy party. And I'm like, what is this guy talking about? This video messed me up when I watched it today. Then I sent.
So this is kind of a long video.
I sent it to my wife too, and I was like, and she was like blown away. She was like, he has to be either on drugs or like making all this shit up.
I don't think he's making it up because honestly, like so I had this conversation with one of my buddies at work, right? And he was like, we were talking about how many times you could watch a movie. And I'm like, oh, I must have seen that movie 1,000 times. He goes, that means you would have to watch that movie every day for 3 straight years.
Yes.
And I'm like,
or some days I watched it 3 times, and I took a couple-day break.
Yeah, like, which I've done that, but I'm like, holy shit, you're not wrong.
Or he says he has a female friend that slept with 45,000 people last year. And Cam is like, the math doesn't even make sense on that.
Right.
He's like, and he goes, oh, she works at a brothel. And he goes, it still doesn't make sense.
Right, like that math still ain't mathing, homie.
Like, wait, let me do that. 45,000, right, by 365.
So you went on a podcast
That's
recently stating
123
that you have slept with 11,500 women.
I did
A
a
day.
booby trap party when I reached
Hold on.
10,000.
I want to make sure the
What?
volume is playing.
Yeah.
on this, 'cause
So
I'm
we
not
did a
sure.
celebration, booby trap, celebrated my 10,000. I had about 400 or 500 girls that I fucked with came through,
Hold on.
supported. It was a massive parade.
You're talking about different partners.
10,000. I think, yeah, a little bit more now.
Different partners.
What you mean?
Like, this could go for how many times you've had sex. But you're
No,
saying,
no. These are 10,000 different people.
You said 11.
It's at like 12.5 now, but I wanted it to get to like 11, so I was guaranteed 10.
Okay.
I didn't want to be at 9,000, and I wanted to be at 11. Then I said, okay, we went to 10.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure I was
Do
over.
you know that what the average is?
What the average what?
Like, you're 45, no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can only fuck 1,000 more bitches. I can't do any more.
But the average of the volume of different sex partners, do you know what that is?
What do you mean?
Like,
I understand the math and the skill.
okay. So that's sleeping with a little over 1.5 women a day for 30 years.
It really is.
Yeah, the math is different because when we're on tour, we're thinking 5 to 10 a day.
A day, bro.
A day, so you're scaling it. These niggas got way more bodies than me. I got, first off, some of my friends, some of my homegirls, they fuck 45,000 niggas a year.
Okay.
All right, bro, I'm not capping.
Some of your homegirls.
They at least fuck, 45,000 a year. No, like maybe
45,000.
It's
It's only
It doesn't even go through the whole
365
thing of,
days in
like,
a
well, on
year.
tour,
What kind of
it's
bender do
more
they
like
got to
5
go
to
on to
10
make
times
that
a
math
day.
make sense?
It's like, what are you talking about?
brothels and
Let's
stuff
be
like that.
real.
Okay.
Ask Lamar Odom, you know.
But I don't think, like, that's...
What's your body count?
That's not possible.
20,000?
45,000.
10,000 for sure.
That's
not
more
possible.
than
Bro.
10 a day.
That's
There's no-
123 a day. I
All
did
the football
math.
games,
means you're-
everything. You know you was running through, for sure, 10 after every game.
You're right. There's 100 a day.
That's not
That's
fair.
too
You're
much
right.
energy.
It's 123 a day.
123
For you?
a day. And he's
That's
like, that's
nothing.
common for her.
No.
And it was like, for like,
So what, you
that's
got,
not
5,000?
possible. Even Cam is like,
Not 5,000.
no.
Six.
That's
Even
not
getting
possible.
laid
Not
123
4.
times a day is impossible.
We like...
Yes.
4.
There's not enough
No.
time in the
You
day.
for
There's
sure
not enough
4.
time
I don't
in the
even
day.
crack
Like Bonnie
1,000,
Blue
bro.
couldn't pull that off.
All right, we're not being
If you
honest.
gave her that
1,000?
kind
Just
of, like,
think about
track record,
this.
She'd probably be hospitalized after 48 hours.
1,000 women.
You don't
Yeah,
have to play the whole
we don't have to
thing.
play the rest of that.
But that was a wild.
The most.
That was on a football podcast, by the way.
Yes.
For those of you coming in being like, why the hell is this being played?
And I mean, Ray J. Obviously, we all know Ray J. He's the one that did the Kim Kardashian sex tape.
First of all, he lied because he spent more than one time with Kim Kardashian, so he broke his own rule.
Yes, that's true. But yeah, like the whole 45,000 in a year thing, it's just not possible.
No, he's just lying through his goddamn
It's
teeth.
not possible, dude. Like, I'm sorry, it's not feasible. 45,000, like you said, divided by 365 is 123.28 in a day. What did he say he was averaging?
He averaged. He's at just over 12,000, right?
So let's
he's
say
at 12,000
divided by 365.
He's 45 years old. Okay, so he's lived about 16,000 and something days.
So he was at you. So he's 47.
He's 45.
He's 45.
Yeah, so 45 times 365 is what? 16,000.
So you're right. He would have had this. He would have been having to fuck 12 bitches a day.
No. He would have to start at 12 on his 12th birthday.
Yeah.
And then a different woman every day without stopping until today to reach that number that he's at.
He would have to hit 32 a day
Yes.
since his 12th birthday to reach that number.
No, just one a day. But a different person every single day.
Okay, right.
Up until right now.
Again, not possible.
Oh, Destry, get out of here. Don't even bullshit me into that. If you watch the interview and that's what you come away with, you're full of shit. There's no way.
What was?
Destry goes, it doesn't not mean he nutted every time. Like, come on. Like,
No,
you
come
know
on.
what this man means.
You ain't.
And then when he talks about, I threw a 10,000 like bang party and I invited 500 women to it, I was like, what are you talking?
And then they all showed up too, like all these girls that he supposedly banged in the past, like all showed up to like be like, oh, we're all Eskimo brothers or sisters.
I love Cam's entire uncomfortability with the
his
entire thing.
entire demeanor in this whole thing is just like
Disgust.
It's both disgust and disbelief. It's like I can't believe you're lying to me about being this disgusting.
Yes.
I just don't get it. I don't understand that at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm flabbergasted by the whole thing. It is absolutely ridiculous in terms of just sheer numbers and volume. Like I said, remember when was it Bonnie Blue did the whole thing? Like she like wanted to have sex like 1,000 guys in a day.
That's what Destry just mentioned too.
And then she did, but then she wanted to she invited like 1,000 guys, like all the nut in her, like to see which one became the dad. Like, could you imagine being like the 890th guy to blow a load in this chick, and you're like, it'd be like
she was hospitalized for a while after that. Too.
I mean, it had to be like it had to be like busting a nut into like I don't know, like a pickle jar.
God, man.
You know what I mean? Like you can feel something, but there ain't much in there.
Oh,
it feels like kind of liquid.
It was just so awful to hear that entire conversation, and I just felt I felt bad for Cam Newton being like, you could tell this wasn't his get for the interview.
Right, or at least maybe it wasn't the whole point of the interview either.
Yeah. Oh, can we talk about that too? We can talk about those two things too.
Oh, absolutely.
That video and then the Red Sox massacre for no reason because ownership is just cheap as shit.
Yes. So we're gonna wrap this up with we got two videos left. One video left. We're gonna show you.
What? Can you imagine the amount of? What do you mean, like every day, Destry? Do you think that the ground outside is just built on it? I don't even know what you mean by that question. A wild question to ask.
All right. Wait, hold on. What is that? Can you imagine the amount of semen in the ground that you have to walk out? I mean, yeah. I honestly like. Or like
on Earth, like in general,
like you know, like we've all had sex here, right?
Oh, he means for that Bonnie Blue scene in that building.
Yes.
Okay, I thought he meant like outside. If I walk outside, I'm just like walking over. Like.
Oh no, that I would assume
Christ.
that's not the case. But like, imagine like like girls get like girls out there like, ew, I don't want to sleep in the wet spot. Like, imagine her just having to sit there for 23 hours while 1,000 guys run through her.
Oh my God, man.
Ugh. God, I'm sure her dad is so proud. Anyway, 774-992-8702 is the phone number. If you want to give us a call, get your thoughts in on the NFL draft, Mike Vrabel, your team's draft, your prospects, whether or not you think the Raiders taking Mendoza #1 overall was good. I think it's shit. I think the Raiders were fucked because they didn't have a choice. They had to take Mendoza #1.
I think Kirk Cousins is going to play well for them.
Honestly, I think there's a reason why they signed Kirk Cousins because they know Mendoza's going to be shit. But anyway, Raiders are going to do Raider things. Bad teams stay bad for a reason. Quickly moving forward, the Red Sox, Sean.
Did not see this coming.
Talk about the massacre. They started, 10-17?
Yeah.
10-17 to start the season. Not a good start. And John Henry just shit cans everybody. Alex Cora pretty much on down.
But it wasn't him. John Henry didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Oh, it wasn't?
No.
Oh,
it was all Craig Breslow.
So basically the owner doesn't know what's going on in his own building. Well, you know what? That would actually explain a lot if that were true. That would explain a shitload if that were true.
Sure.
Because if John Henry didn't have any fucking clue what was going on inside of that building, then I would say, oh, well, that explains why they're 10-17 and they don't have any fucking talent outside of Roman Anthony. And they are going to get fucking booty blasted for the entire year.
And my boy Peyton Toll, which should have made the roster, but whatever.
Yeah. Different story for a different day. But the bottom line is John Henry knew exactly what was going on.
100%.
John Henry's the one that writes the checks. Or in this case, doesn't write the checks because John Henry's being cheap as fuck and doesn't want to spend, which is why he hired the GM from fucking Tampa to come and run the to run the front office.
They fired him too.
So, which is now gone, but they wanted to do it the cheap way. They wanted to be cheap and good. They basically wanted to garner Boston revenue with Tampa Bay talent.
Yes.
Like, how do we generate the revenue that we generated with the 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007 teams and sell out Fenway every single night, but only have to pay like the Tampa Bay Rays do.
You shouldn't have pushed out Larry Lucchino. I think he was like the key for most of their success. Like
You could make that. Yeah,
I think he's passed away, unfortunately. But
but I mean, you could make that argument though.
I
that-
do think he was a major reason why the team was so smart and successful business-wise, because he did a lot of the handling and helping that out before it became Sean Kennedy. Because once Sean Kennedy came in, Sean Kennedy is basically a puppet to John Henry, and then Craig Breslow is the master puppet, who he comes on the microphone. First of all, embarrassing for the Red Sox to ask the fucking Orioles, can we borrow your news, like your media station? So they have to do this. We're cutting everybody in front of Orioles banners behind them. Red Sox management, by the way.
It's amazing.
So it says Orioles all behind them. So it's super embarrassing.
I'm so glad that I did not invest in becoming a season ticket holder of the Red Sox.
God, no. I'm glad I don't watch the games anymore because this team. I haven't watched games in 2 years because the team makes me sick.
I have had offers to go to Fenway for free,
and I don't go. I don't go either.
And I have refused even to go see the Astros. I still refuse because I'm not giving that fucking cunt another penny of my fucking hard-earned money.
I'm so glad that people are finally waking up and being like, we need to stop spending money on this team, and that's how they're gonna get to sell it because we focus too much on it. Hopefully they finally do that. But they cut everybody, which I think is just a horrible idea. Bad
idea. Terrible move. Not gonna do you any good. In fact, all this is going to do is further piss off the fan base because you got to remember, Alex Cora was an instrumental part of that 04 team. Alex Cora has ties
and the
to
18
breaking
team.
Well, right, but Alex Cora has ties to the breaking the curse of the Bambino. Mm-hmm. That man is like bred into Red Sox lore, whether you want to admit it or not.
I think he was here in 07 too.
Yeah, he was a backup. He was the shortstop. He was a backup shortstop, right?
I think he was here both years.
He might have been here for both. Actually, I think you might be right. He was here for both years. But Alex Cora has ties to this city, to this team, to this stadium, to this organization that go deeper than baseball. And you just unceremoniously shit-can him 27 games into the season after he got suspended for a year and you hired him back for a cheating scandal.
Made the Red Sox in 05, missed the 04 by 1 year. So he came up in 05, and he was on the team in 07, but he was on the team in 05.
So he was on the so he was a backup in 07. Backup shortstop in 07. Okay. Whatever. He was, like I said, he still has ties to that era. Because 04 and 07 were pretty close. You mean, they were different teams, but they were the same teams in a lot of ways.
Yeah, for sure.
04, obviously, much more special. Whatever. But you can't unceremoniously fire that man 27 games into a season after you brought him back after a major cheating scandal was exposed and he was implicated in, suspended for a year, and you still brought him back. And now you're going to fire him 20 – like, I don't understand what the Red Sox are doing.
In April.
But the Red Sox are doing what bad teams do.
They fired him in April.
Yeah, they're fucking up, dude. And they've been fucking up. I mean, listen, Mookie Betts has won how many championships in L.A. since they let him go?
I don't know, 2.
You know what I mean? And who have they brought in? We were supposed to have all these, like, this great talent, and, you know, we got all these players. Telling you guys, Boston's back.
But it's well known amongst players. Former players have come out and said it to Boston media this week. They said it's well known amongst players that Boston does not want any player to get any deal over on them. If they think you're making 10 cents more than them, Red Sox will specifically not do that deal, so that way they feel like they've won on every deal. They said every player said the same thing. The Red Sox feel they have to win every deal. And if they don't win, they won't sign you. They said they did it to Lester. They did it to Mookie. They did it to Alex Bregman, who Bregman wanted to stay, and they were like, "We can't pay you that extra.
You're a little pricey, bro.
$7 million." And then as soon as he said no to that, I'm not taking $7 million less. They're like, well, you're old. He said they immediately started making fun of my age. He said they have the same tactic for everything.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, we don't like old players anyway. Immediately, they said everyone knows their shtick now.
Sure.
And now I said most of the time, you said players don't want to come here because it's an unattractive place to play. We came here for Alex. And then Trevor Story this week Trevor Story came out and was just like, this is bullshit. And in the locker room, he outed what was said to them. He says, Sean Kennedy and Craig Breslow came in the locker room and told us, your players, you play, we're ownership, we'll make the decisions here. And he goes, that was basically like a fuck you to the
total
team.
Fuck you to the team.
Yeah, like you play and keep your mouth
and
shut.
if you want to be a bad baseball team and have a poorly run organization that nobody wants to play for, that's how you run it.
So I
So
would
you know what?
I would expect Trevor Story to be gone
Good.
soon. Trevor Story's probably leaving.
Good. Because you know what? I can't think of a better fucking owner for this to happen to.
Oh, 100%.
Because fuck John Henry, fuck the Red Sox, fuck their entire ownership group, fuck everything about that fucking team.
That Fenway group.
Fuck Fenway, fuck that stadium, fuck Yawkey Way or whatever they fucking call it now. Fuck everything. Fuck all of you.
Oh, it's not called Yawkey Way anymore.
No, remember they renamed it because John Henry was losing sleep over the fact that it was named after a man who supported segregation.
I forget what they changed it to.
Freedom Way or some bullshit.
Oh, is it?
Something stupid. But no, fuck the Red Sox and fuck the horse they rode in on. I don't give a flying fuck about them. Like I said, until John Henry dies or sells this team, the Red Sox can go to hell in a handbasket. I don't give a flying fuck what happens.
Jersey Street.
Oh, what do they name that? Bruce Springsteen? The wokest woke artist of all time? So I guess over my eye. Fuck. Anyway, I'm thrilled that this is happening to the Red Sox. I really am. Because I denounced them on this show years ago. And I said I will never root for them. I will never give them another dime of my fucking money until John Henry dies or sells this team.
Agreed.
And and I'm so glad that I was so far ahead of the fucking curve on this. And now everybody is finally waking up to what I've been trying to tell you since 2018. I mean, yeah.
I get it.
And the last horse crosses the line.
Nobody. I want to start seeing games where nobody's at the games. That's what I want to start seeing.
Cannot wait for it to look like fucking Baltimore in the middle of the summer. You know what I mean? Like a 1 o'clock start on a Saturday, and there's fucking 10 people in the stadium. Like where you're able to walk up to the ticket window at Fenway and buy a ticket for fucking $20.
Yep.
And you're like, haha. Still not going to do it, but haha. And then you know what? Good. I hope it drives down all the fucking parking prices. It won't because it's Boston.
It absolutely will not.
But, you know, at least that way, nobody will be going. And it'll just, you know what? Good. Fuck everybody. Because for too fucking long, that team in that area has just rode the coattails of the Red Sox. And meanwhile, the entire time they've been giving us the double barrel, the fans, the double barrel middle finger.
Absolutely.
So fuck them, dude. I fucking hate the Red Sox. I hate their ownership. I hope everything bad happens to them and only them. And this is a pretty good start. You know, Alex Cora is a great manager. He's going to get picked up next year in like a heartbeat.
He was offered the Phillies job today, and he declined it. He's like, I'm going to sit out the rest of the year, I think, and spend time with my family.
Yeah, why not? He's getting paid.
Yeah,
so
and next year.
May as well. Yeah, take some time off, get paid, and then decide if you want to go back to managing baseball. Hey, you know what? Sure, maybe the Astros could make a little room for you, bro. You know, just saying. Bring out some trash cans, you know, we'll get it going.
Let these guys do whatever they want. I'm like, let them invent new ways of cheating. I'm pro cheating for every level of sports now. Let them do as much as they want.
Fuck it, dude. Send it.
I want to see like they had in that show Playmakers. Guys on the sidelines doing heroin and steroids
Yeah.
on the sidelines.
They're like, yeah, let's go fuck this gay wide receiver up at practice. You know, like, great show, by the way. 774-992-8702. Last video we're going to show you. We got one last thing to cover. Because if you're not watching NASCAR, and I know Stephen A. Smith has gone on a tirade this week about how, you know, race car drivers aren't athletes, which I find hilarious. You know, he says, you could be driving a damn car at 70 years old, and ain't no athletes at 70 years old. Okay, Stephen. I mean, I get it. And this, I'll lead off with the Stephen A. Smith thing when it comes to this, because the Stephen A. Smith race car drivers aren't athletes thing, it's so old and tired. And I know Stephen A. Smith is also old and tired, and he's losing a lot on his fastball, so he's searching for things. You know, what did Jerry and Jerry Callahan and John Dennis always used to say? If it was a slow news day, pick on NASCAR fans or pit bulls, and you will immediately light the phones up. If there's nothing else to talk about, you could just say NASCAR's stupid, not a sport, and you will get NASCAR fans calling in for hours. or you bring up a story about how pit bulls mauled another kid to death, and pit bulls should be eradicated and everything else. You'll get pit bull owners calling in for hours. That was like one of their rules on that show. When they started, when they had Kirk and everything else going on when they were in their glory days. Mm-hmm. It was an easy thing to do. So I get why Stephen A. is doing this, because his ratings are in the shitter. He's becoming irrelevant, and he's searching for the low-hanging fruit, and he's trying to piss off the NASCAR community by saying that race car drivers aren't athletes. Now, I can sit here and tell you that race car drivers are, in fact, athletes. In fact, being an athlete is far more important now than it ever was in racing, especially when it comes to the pit crews. I mean, my guy Jordan Bush, who is a Super Bowl 50 champion, defensive back for the Denver Broncos, happens to be the right front tire changer for, I believe it was usually a Penske or Trackhouse. I can't remember which one.
Right.
But he's a right front tire changer for a major NASCAR team. A lot of these guys are ex-Division I athletes. I've walked the pit road. I've seen a lot of the crew members. I mean, the gas men, dude, like I would be a small gas man. At 6'3", 320 pounds, I'd be a small dude.
You guys are just giants because they're holding that gigantic tank.
Yeah, well, when you're holding 20 gallons of gas at whatever, 8 pounds a pop, shit adds up. It's almost a 200-pound tank.
Yeah.
That you're having to hold and plop it in and get it. You know what I mean? Like, shit, yeah, it's heavy. Not something everybody can do. So people might be like, well, how much skill does that take? Oh, okay. Go try and get a pit stop done in under 9 seconds. And make sure that you put that gas thing exactly where it's supposed to be every single time. And get as much gas into that car as you're supposed to. Because if you don't, it's on you. If a half a gallon, a quarter of a gallon, an eighth of a gallon doesn't go in there.
Spills, you're fucked.
You're fucked. You're cooked because now your race is over. Because now you don't have enough gas to get to the finish, dumbass. But anyway, I get Stephen A. Smith is doing this for all the rage bait, right?
I know, he's just a dumb shit.
We say it all the time on this show, Sean. Like, we're not here. We might say shit that you disagree with, but we're not here to hot take anything.
No.
We don't do the hot take, controversial, whatever bullshit because we want you to talk about us in a negative way and say, are you fucking retarded? You get your call, blah, 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 whatever. Like, no, we don't do that. We give you our honest opinions, and we stand by it, and we back it up with facts, evidence, whatever we might have. And whether or not you like it, it doesn't really matter because we're telling you what we feel. Mm-hmm. There's a few shows out there that still do it well. Like Dan Patrick is not a hot take artist.
No,
he
not at all. Not at all.
Adam Shine, another one on the radio, not a hot take artist. Those are guys that give you the facts, they give you the lay of the land, and they tell you what they feel based on their experience, their intuition, and what they have in front of them as far as factual evidence goes.
Right.
Stephen A. Smith has gone completely the other way.
He's going to politics now.
Well, he's gone completely hot take. And I get that. And he's starving for ratings. He's starving for relevance.
My brothers.
He's starving for people to watch him.
We must address this.
And yeah, he's doing the low-hanging fruit thing. So I'm not even going to get mad about him saying that race car drivers are not athletes. He doesn't know the first thing about racing. Whether it's NASCAR, F1, Indy, it doesn't matter. He has no fucking clue what he's talking about.
How fast are these cars going?
So
50, 60 miles an hour?
Yeah. I do that on the highway every day when I come to work.
I go faster in the left lane.
I've driven a Lamborghini one time. I hit 110 miles an hour. I'm like, oh, cool. 110 miles an hour. I did that in my Jetta on Allen Street in Dartmouth.
But I know exactly what you mean. Stephen A. is just like such like I guess whole thing is about being like a polarizing dickhead.
Yeah, he's a hot take artist. And we try not to do that here. We try not to be that show. We don't want to do that. It's bullshit. So anyway, fuck Stephen A. and his stupid little take. That's the end of that's the last thing I'm going to say about it in regards to that. If you didn't watch Talladega on Sunday, I feel supremely bad for you. You missed the most entertaining sporting event of the weekend. Maybe you could argue maybe the O'Reilly series on Saturday was more entertaining. The finish might have been a little bit better. It was a little more. I mean, I would disagree. The finish was great in NASCAR. Mm-hmm. But what you saw at the end of the race in Carson Hocevar's victory celebration, which I always say the worst name for me to say in sports right now is Carson Hocevar with a Boston accent. He's from Michigan. I actually had the privilege of racing against him on was it Monday or Tuesday night? I forget where we were. I think it was Monday night, iRacing, and I raced against Carson Ozavar. It had to have been Monday night because I saw my dad Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I told my dad Tuesday, I was like, hey, guess who I raced against last night? And he's like, who? And I'm like, Carson Ozavar. And he's like, who the fuck is that? And I was like, Rookie of the Year, NASCAR last year? And he's just like, my dad watches it, but he doesn't know like the drivers in and out like I do. Like he's not into it. And then Hocevar wins on Sunday and does the most epic victory celebration that you've ever seen in your entire life.
Was this intentional, by the way, or no?
Oh, yeah. This was like pre-planned, like thought out. Like he's like, I've been thinking about this for a long time.
Oh, my God. Okay.
And
I thought it was an accident.
No, this is all planned out. And then I told my dad, I was like, that's the guy that I raced against in iRacing last week. He's like, oh, that's the dude? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, shit. Okay. That guy's fucking sweet. I like that guy. Yeah, I like him. We'll show you the video here. So this is Carson Ozavar's victory lap from Dega. Now, for those of you who don't know, Dega is a very special place. Talladega it's the biggest track in NASCAR. It's 2.66 miles. It produces more first-time winners, I think, than any other track. I think Carson Hocevar is now the 19th or 3rd. I forget how many first-time winners there are at this track, but he becomes the most recent first-time winner to get his first dub. And then he does this on the victory lap. And it is absolutely insane.
Better to be a rule maker
so yes,
than a
he
rule
is driving
breaker.
the car.
That's what DW always said.
Absolutely. He is doing this.
How about this? Remember at Richmond one year
People are throwing
when Earnhardt's windshield got all covered and he sat on the windowsill, drove the car, and wiped the windshield. Larry, you remember that?
That's a moment. That's cool.
This level of showmanship in the car
Sat there just about like this during the race, under caution.
Climbed
Climbed back in the seat, put the belts back on, got back to racing because he didn't want to make a pit stop and go.
You know about doing this because this part right here.
Well, this beats all. I hope by the time he gets to the start-finish line and our cameraman, he figures out how to stop this.
That could be the problem. We couldn't figure out how to get it going.
Just shut it off. Do it with the ignition.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So then he gets
being able to sit like that with the.
But that's why you like this kid.
Yes, he's a thinker.
Always thinking outside the box and doing something different, paving his own way.
Right. It's his car. He damaged it.
Not about him damaging the car. It's what it is.
What a way to celebrate. That's unbelievable.
I don't know that we can get it stopped, guys. There we go.
This is the part where I thought he couldn't see the
No, he did this on purpose.
And a burnout.
This is pure show.
He's really running up to the wall.
Well, better to be a rule
NASCAR
maker than a rule breaker. That's what DW always said.
That's absolutely. Like what they,
How about this?
Dead zone, if you will.
Remember?
If you go to the track,
Yeah.
like you can't get down there. So like those stands are walled off.
Yeah.
Where there's no access down, like they're gated off and there's security down there, and you can't get down up to the fence. Because in years past, like where cars have gotten into the fence, if you're standing up against the fence and a car gets into the fence, the fence is going to catch the car, but there's going to be obviously a lot of give, and it's going to rip the fence apart, and you can get hurt or worse. So, you're not allowed to go down there. Like if you ever look at my Snapchats from Daytona and stuff like that, I'm always at the bottom of the stands, but there's always that walkway that's empty. Now, the first time I went to Daytona in 1996, you could walk on that walkway, and there was a yellow line where they were like, yeah, don't get too close to the fence, but, the security guards be looking around. They look this way, and the cars are coming by, and you would jump on the fence and hold on to it, and the whole field would rip by you, like, closer than me to you. Mm-hmm. And you're looking down at the roofs of the cars as they're rumbling by you at 200 miles an hour in less than 3 seconds from first to last.
Yeah.
And you're like holy shit. And it was one of the coolest fucking things you'll ever experience. I'm glad I got to experience it as a kid, because let me tell you something. Ain't nothing like it, dude. And I might never be able to experience that again.
That's crazy.
Unless I have an absolute death wish. So,
you jump on an adult fence, screaming.
Yeah, and so obviously Hocevar wins the game. That was the best victory celebration I've ever seen in my entire life. Also, coincidentally, right before the Talladega weekend started, France, the CEO of NASCAR, Bill France Jr.? No, who was the fucking CEO? Will France was Steve France? I forget what France it was at this point. Hold on, let me tell you. I'll tell you. Jim France, sorry.
Okay.
Jim France stepped down as the CEO of NASCAR, which marks the first time in NASCAR's history since it started in 1947 that a France family member has not been in charge of the league.
So who's interim?
So Steve O'Donnell is the guy who's taken over, which everybody was like, great, France stepped down, yes. And then everybody was like, Steve O'Donnell's the next guy. And we were like, ugh, fuck. We're like, anybody but him. However, we thought for sure he was going to come out and there was going to be like a rule made on Hocevar celebration, like, yeah, no more of that. Kind of like when they got rid of Ross Chastain when he rode the wall a couple years ago. They got rid of that. You can't do that anymore. And, you know, it's always in the name of safety, but we all know what the real reason is. There's insurance purposes and all this liability.
Yep.
And Steve O'Donnell came out Monday morning, was like, nah, man, we have no plans to put any new rules in place banning that celebration. We're going to let the drivers be drivers and let their personalities do the talking. And so it gives us a little bit of hope for NASCAR in terms of like those diehard NASCAR fans that are hoping to see the sport improve to where it was, you know, in the mid-2000s, pre the 2008 crash, in terms of popularity and everything else. And I won't bore you with the minutia of why NASCAR has gone downhill. I personally think NASCAR is great right now. I think the racing is great. People will tell you that race sucked on Sunday. I think they're fucking crazy. I thought it was awesome. It was a fun race. I like the next gen car. A lot of people don't. But in my defense, NASCAR fans are the most self-loathing fans of any sport in the history of sports. They love to just bitch about everything and anything. Like, if we went back right now to the 2001 version of these race cars, they would bitch that we should go back to the 1991 version of them. And we would go back to the 1991 version of the cars. And then they would bitch that we should go back to the 81 version. And they would bitch that we should go back to the 70s. And then they would bitch that we should go back to racing on the sand at Daytona and get rid, tear the track out and go race on the sand and the dirt instead.
On the sand?
That's what Daytona, that's where NASCAR started. The first Daytona 500 was on the beach, literally on the beach, on Daytona Beach.
Damn.
On the sand. And they would bitch and complain about that, and then they would be like, we need to bring back Plymouth Superbirds and blah, 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 and this, that. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, NASCAR fans are such fucking cunts. They piss me off a lot of the times because all they do is just bitch incessantly because what they envision the sport to be isn't exactly what it is. And it's like, dude, like, no, stop. Like, just don't let perfect be the enemy of good. NASCAR fans are self-loathing dickheads, and they're also, some of the best fans in sports. But whatever, neither here nor there. But anyway, this is the first time in probably like 3 straight weeks I didn't pick Carson Hocevar to win the race, and of course he wins. But it did take a massive 25-car wreck that eliminated most of the good cars in the field for him to get this win. Not saying he didn't deserve it or that he was not going to get it, but I feel like if Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, William Byron, so on and so forth, had not been tied up in that wreck and been destroyed, had their cars destroyed, I think things might have been a little bit different. But that's neither here nor there because the man won, and I'm glad he did because he put on that epic celebration, and it made like a lot of people look at NASCAR and be like, whoa, this is what's going on over here? That's cool. So good for the sport, good for everybody. Fun times. We go to Texas this week. F1 is back after a month off.
Yeah, I don't know shit about F1. I don't know shit about all the racing shit.
Well, it's the Miami Grand Prix, so the only thing you need to know is
They're
race.
racing in the street in Miami?
No, they race around the stadium.
Oh.
There's a GP. They built the track around the stadium, which I've walked on. It's pretty cool. Like you walk when you going into the stadium, a lot of the areas you walk through to get to the stadium. There you'll see the curbing and everything, and you're like, oh, neat. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's about it for tonight. I think that's pretty good. I think we can wrap it there.
Yeah,
That was a
I
long
think,
show.
Yeah, we covered
we had a lot to cover, so it is what it
the
is.
draft. We segued a few times, but
We
needed
did
segues.
We did. So we'll leave it there. We'll be back. As of right now, we'll be back next Tuesday. Unless you hear otherwise from us, we'll be back Tuesday night, 9:00. Sean and I talking about
whatever the fuck happens in the next week.
Yeah, probably mostly the NBA playoffs. We'll see if the Lakers can get past the Rockets tomorrow night and put the final nail in that coffin, and maybe we get Luka and Reeves back in the second round, and we'll have a Lakers OKC showdown in the second round. I'm sure the Celtics are going to get past Philly. I really don't.
I don't see them losing.
I don't have any doubts about that. It's a little uglier than I think it needed to be, but at the end of the day, the better team rarely loses in 7 games. So I'll save my Jason Tatum hate for next week, and we'll go hard in the paint then. But until then, for Mr. Betancourt, I am Joey Fats. This has been another episode of Row 1, Seat 1, right here live on the one, the only, the New Bedford Guide, and we will talk to you all next Tuesday night. Peace.
Adios.
Fat